Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Anime Talk Show. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Anime Talk Show. With your hosts, I'm Dion.
And I'm Chris.
And I've only just realised there, I keep hesitating with the intro because it's really hard not to say. It's really easy to say the Anime Talk Show, but I keep refraining from saying or arse because that's what I used to say all the time. I miss it. That abbreviation worked so well.
Well, at least we have
not quite the same.
At least we have an intro on this one, so there's that.
What was the podcast? Not too kind to you again.
Oh, it's just the Lemonade podcast. It's a bit of a mess of a show. To be honest, I need to take the bull by the horns and host it myself, but I don't know. I feel awkward when I host things. I'm a good guest. I'm not a good host.
Just get down a standard intro like I do, and it'll be fine. It's much easier when you know what you're going to say going in. You just have to try and ignore the distractions that are Ben and Joe.
But they're just so distracting. God damn it.
But yes, okay, anyway, welcome everyone. We are back with another week of anime. As I said last time, we talk about the shows that we have watched, and that's about it really. We don't really review it, hence we redubbed the show the Anime Talk Show as opposed to the review show. And for the current season, partially the current season, on this episode we'll be covering Toilet Bound Hanako-Kun, Darwin's Game, No Gun's Life, and ReZero, the director's cut, in that order. Now, this is going to be a long-form podcast, so if you've got anything to do in your house or go on a drive or anything, put us on in the background, because I'll be very impressed, but also very surprised if you sat here and listened to us for a good, what's probably going to be 2 hours again.
Do what I do and listen to us in the gym. Well, I don't listen to us in the gym. Listen to a podcast in the gym.
This is designed very much to be that sort of podcast, so stick us on in the background and have a good time, hopefully. You'll have probably already seen these shows, otherwise I don't know why you're here getting spoilers in advance, and we're just going to discuss what we thought about them. That's all we do here, hence the talk show rather than the review show, otherwise we'd keep it spoiler-free.
And if there's any shows you want to skip, or there's any shows you particularly are interested in hearing about, timestamps in the description below.
Yes. Okay, so with all that said and done, look at us being professional. It's nice.
An actual intro where we got information across to people. Anybody would start thinking we're good at this.
Yes. Our view count probably won't reflect that, though.
Oh no. No, it won't.
But actually, saying that, the other one, so only just gone live, literally as we're about to record this, because we release it on the same days that we record, but 1 week later, obviously. I'm not that good at editing. So we don't know yet. It could be somewhat popular. We'll see. Yeah, I'll probably get like 10 views like it used to. But right, anyway. The first show, as we said, is going to be Toilet Bound Hanako-Kun, episode 3 to begin with. We're covering 2 episodes of this show, so...
Very linked episodes this week. It was a 2-parter.
It's been 2-parters all around this week, I think, apart from... it's been 2-parters all around this week.
Yeah, no, I was going to say not Darwin's Game, but Darwin's Game was also a 2-parter, except I watched the first half last week. So I'm a little fuzzy on that one, but we'll get to that.
Oh, did you not rewatch it?
No. Mostly because I didn't have time. Well, I would have had time if I'd watched it today, but I decided to watch them all at 11 o'clock at night last night. So, for time management.
Right, okay. Just go over the format again. I usually ramble through the plot, because I take notes of the plot and occasionally my thoughts as I go, whereas Chris usually just notes his thoughts. Chris will put in, and we'll discuss. So, episode 3, we open with Yashiro and her friend Aoi, as she tells her about another of the school's wonders. Aoi seems to know a lot about the school's 7 wonders.
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed about this show straight away. Is like this school. I don't know if this is common in Japanese schools, but this school is obsessed with like folklore. Like they're always talking about ghosts and ghost stories and you're gonna die if you go over here sort of stories.
Yeah, it does seem to be a fairly common occurrence, especially with this one girl who's just like, hey, have you heard about this? Hey, have you heard about this? It's like, why? Although, to be fair, I guess they kind of tried to explain that away when she was like, she seems down, and I thought she liked scary stories, so I'm going to keep telling her them, which I thought was nice.
Yeah, it warms this old heart, it does. Also,
that's kind of all...
Oh, sorry.
No, go on.
I was going on to a different point, so you carry on.
I was just going to say... Fuck, I've forgotten what I was going to say now. No, you go on, because I've forgotten what I was going to say.
I mean, on the like folklore, like ghost story front, it helps that they live in possibly the world's most haunted school. A lot of ghosts in this school. Apparently 7 very big ones, and a lot of little ones.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that. I was like, so in this world, do a lot of schools have like 7 wonders each, or something similar, or is this school just super haunted?
I would assume this school's super haunted, but then again, like, I don't know much about yokai lore, so maybe every school's like super haunted in this sort of universe.
Maybe. Again, we need to research this sort of thing, because yokai stuff, when it's not boring as sin, like Elegant Yokai Apartment Life, can be presented as very interesting.
Well, I certainly like the way this show handles it. I like little stories and the I like the deep dive into the like the ghost motivation, why they're doing what they do. Like these 2 episodes, I think specifically do it very well.
I would agree with the sentiment. We'll get to that as we go, but yeah. So, Yashiro is initially helping out a friend Aoi with watering the class plants, because that seems to be a thing. I do kind of remember that being a thing when I was at school, but
oh, in my classes we never did that. I think when I was in primary school we had a class hamster, but I don't think I had anything outside of that.
Yeah, for me it was also primary school. Do you think they trust secondary school kids with that in our country?
I think they trust us with anything.
Oh, dear lord. But yeah, no, she's helping her water the plants, but after telling her the legend of the second of the wonders, which is the, I think we mentioned this last week, but I'll go over it again, the stairs leading to the art room. If you step on the 4th step, you get taken to the other side, where you get dismembered into tiny little pieces, and the next morning, blood drips on that step to signify that someone has been there and died.
You also get wiped out of existence. I guess is a part of the story she missed.
Yeah, she missed that part of the story, but yeah, then that girl gets summoned to said art room, but I didn't click onto that until, after she was gone.
Yeah, I didn't understand what was going on until I've forgotten the main character's name.
Yashiro.
Until Yashiro realizes, I was like, I don't know why she disappeared. Did she go to test it out? And I was like, oh no, she went to the art room.
Yeah. Yeah, the flashbacks helped.
I feel like every student that does art in that school should have disappeared at this point. Because when I'm climbing stairs, I don't routinely skip the 4th step. I step on all of them.
No, to be fair, actually, I'd actually always step on the 4th step, because I always skip 1 step. So I go every 2 steps. So yeah, I'd be screwed.
I got the short, stubby legs. I've got to do every step.
And I'm a tall, lanky man, and all the in between steps are inconvenient. So she comes in the next day, and the plants aren't there, and she goes to ask the teacher about the plants and a friend, and he's like, who the fuck's that? And as Chris said, they are apparently wiped from existence when they go in there as well, which does explain why no one causes a ruckus when the whole art class is missing.
We just never had art students in this. We have an art room, just never had any art students.
That's the only explanation I can think of, because according to this world's logic, they just kind of like fill in the blanks themselves, being like, hey, that person never existed. Even the girl's parents were like, who the fuck is that? We don't have a daughter.
I found this segment truly rather creepy.
Yeah.
It's just one day your friend is gone and nobody will acknowledge their existence. I'm like, oh shit. That's truly quite terrifying.
If we weren't aware that yokai and stuff existed, I would be convinced I was losing my mind. Like, just imagine coming home one day, Chris, and all of a sudden you're just like, so where's my sister? And your parents are just like, who's that? You've never had a sister. And they keep it up for the whole day.
Like, what's this room for then? What did we use this room for? God damn it.
So that's the spare room. It's always been spare. We just put all the empty boxes and stuff in there. It's like, no. Oh, God, no, I'd think I was going mad. But at the same time, I might just start speculating on the supernatural, because we live in a world where things like anime exist, and we have plenty of fancy tales to explain these sorts of things. But no, yeah, so she goes to Hanako to be like, hey, our friend's missing. And then Minamoto also comes along as being like, what the fuck did you do? Thinking it's him. Obviously not hearing of the second legend.
Yeah, the school obviously super haunted, so it could be any number of ghosts. He's like, no, it's this ghost I particularly hate. And I guess it's his one ghostly contact. But I
was going to say, it does make sense that he'd accuse him, because like, I came here for you, and I don't know the other ghosts unless I see them. Because, like we said last episode, he was talking to like the little Yosei-sans. I don't know what else to call them, because that was their amalgamated form's name.
I don't know what they're called either. Well, I think they had a name in the episode, but I can't remember now.
I'm going to call them spirit bunnies, because they look like tiny little bunny rabbits, kind of. It's mainly the ear-hand things they have.
I like their sassy nature. Like later in the episode when she's like, well, it might be next episode, where she lying down and I'm like, is she dead? Is she dead? No, shit, she's not dead. And then they just like walk off. Like,
They just leave her.
I like you weird bunny creatures. I like your obsession with death.
Yeah, they are both adorable and funny. But yes, so they go to Hanako-Kun. He's like, it's fine, we'll go save her. And they all, I mean, there's not much to say here. They go to the steps and they enter through.
I feel like they should have had a few more questions just because like everyone who's walked in on that step has disappeared from reality. While I was in there, I'd be like, am I going to disappear from reality unless I come back? Like, what are the rules here?
My main concern was, and I was worried about this actually going in, but yeah, I would have had at least one additional question, which was, because they say when you go in there, you get sliced to pieces. I was like, so what's to stop me from being sliced to pieces as soon as I step on this step, Hanako? Am I going to die straight away? I would have been like, Hanako, go first, then come back.
Prove the safety of this goddamn paranormal step.
Yeah, prove that we're not going to die instantaneously, please, or, at least assure us we're not going to. Instead, they're just like, well, let's go. But no, they do go through, and they arrive at the stairs are called the Misaki stairs, and as is that realm that they enter, which is it's first like a small kind of town, and then it proceeds on to a giant staircase.
I'm assuming it's a replication of the town that this teacher used to live in, but I was a little confused about that at first.
As was I. So Misaki, presumably the name of the spirit there, at least presumably at this time, rings a phone that's nearby them and tells them that she was sliced and diced to pieces. She died there, and that she wants them to retrieve her right arm. I think it was the first one.
It was.
And yeah, so they go about looking for this right arm whilst, Yashiro goes around looking for the right arm whilst Hanako and Minamoto, I struggle to remember his name, mess around for a bit, and then we get a few jokes regarding her breast size, which strangely made me...
Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, strangely made me feel uncomfortable, which it normally doesn't in anime. I was just like, no, please stop this.
I mean,
don't do this kind of joke with Yashiro.
As a character, I'm like, it's a bit weird seeing this like chibi cute thing with giant boobs, I guess, but I was just a bit weirded out that there was like a porn magazine down here. Like, I was like, why has this spirit got these magazines hanging around?
I mean, I feel like it was just probably the possession of one of the kids that came through. Because anime, high school kids take their porn mags to school for some reason.
I was going to say, I don't know much about Japanese 15-year-old children, but I certainly never carried my porn around with me.
I definitely wouldn't take it to school, no. Plus, I, never had a porn magazine. It's the 21st century. Who has a porn magazine?
True. Though those page 3 girls, man. An awakening in young 11-year-old Christopher. Anyway, moving on.
Let's not get too much detail about that, please, for the love of God. But no, yeah, time runs out afterwards because, Yashiro assumes that they have to find her missing right arm, so a woman's right arm, but, Hanako finds like a robot arm, Minamoto finds like a really muscly man's arm, and so the dolls that they found earlier come to life, try to restrain Yashiro, a giant pair of scissors comes to try and kill them. They end up tossing a random arm into the shrine, because they have to toss it into a shrine to proceed forward, because there's a gate blocking them off. And it works. They get through, which I found weird until next episode.
I enjoyed the payoff for all the random bits of shit that they were gathering together, basically.
I kind of saw it coming once they started just using random bits, but I was still, pleasantly surprised when it happened. But yes, afterwards we basically just get a montage of them. She calls again, Misaki, and this time Hanako picks up the phone and is like, "Hey, remember me?" And I can't tell if she sounded more pissed after that.
But, in the dub, it sounded like she just like plowed on through. She like just didn't care. She just kept talking.
Okay. Yeah, it was either that or more pissed in my version. I wasn't sure which. Despite knowing a bit of Japanese, it's still hard. Well, to be fair, even in English, I find it hard distinguishing tones. So I was just like, is she pissed at you, or was she just like, carry on? For a second, my brain was like, does she hate him because they said she was sliced and diced, and my brain went, is she the person he killed? And then I was like, nah, I don't think that tiny knife would do that the way they were describing it.
Also, she's not actually a person. And the teacher wasn't sliced and diced. Or at least I don't think he was.
Well, actually, we'll get into that later, but I still assumed she was sliced and diced. But anyway, I'll explain that later, so as to not spoil episode 4 yet. But basically, we're already at the end of episode 3, because not a lot happens in the show. It's very easy to describe, but it's such a... The show has an element of mystery, educating you on yokai lore, and it's kind of just like a feel-good show half the time, with a bit of action thrown in.
It's fun to watch, not only because it's actually gorgeous. I don't... Something about this art style really gets me going, but not in that way. It's very easy to watch and very easy to digest, and it's just fun. It's just fun learning about yokai and having these characters interact.
It helps that the characters that we're following around have both good chemistry, good humor, and are just genuinely nice to listen to talk to laugh at / with, etc. No, yeah, they've provided us with good vessels for exploring this haunted school. But yes, anyway, after that, they get past the second gate, and the third, and the fourth, and however many there are there. Oh, wait, no, sorry, there is one thing I glossed over. Hanako explains about I always get this mixed up because it's very similar to the main character's name, Yari, or was it Yorishiro? Basically a key item to any of the Seven Wonders' apparitions that if you destroy it, weakens them. And then that way they might be able to actually fight it off.
Kind of like a battery for their paranormal realms.
Yes. Chris says a battery because literally in the episode he explains it like taking out the battery of a battery-powered toy.
These batteries will never run out.
Yes, but anyway, and then after that, we just get a montage of them going up the stairs until finally the episode ends with them opening the doors, and in this part of the episode, we cut to the woman who's been talking to them over the phone, who we presume is Misaki. But then, moving on to episode 4, we go back to them, and it's actually them witnessing the amalgamation of all the random body parts they've been gathering.
I like this as a payoff because it's funny, and also kind of makes sense that a ghost would be like, I don't really know what humans look like, so make me a human body. But also at the same time, she looks like a human, and she's been luring humans here, so I'm not entirely sure why she doesn't know what a human looks like.
It is something very strange. Screw it. Logic doesn't really apply to ghosts.
Apparently not.
Plus, this is anime. I think it's safe to say logic never applies in anime. They can try, sometimes, but even still, there's just too many flaws.
No, that said, I do like the, like myth angle of it. It's like this ghost has a way of working, and it has a story, and it feels like it has a history. You know, it feels like it's been doing this for a long time, and this is just how it works. I don't know, it's hard to explain. It feels like a Greek fable or something like that, except not really. Like, the logic doesn't really apply. It's just like Medusa turns people to stone because she does. She just does that, and that's what she's always done.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see that. Which I suppose is the right feeling to be getting across when you're discussing a legend / wonder of the school, because again, that's something. The Greek legend is something supernatural. This is something supernatural. So again, the show's got the right feel of it down, because it's not like stupidly preposterous.
It feels like a story that people would pass around. It feels like this ghost who's like collecting body parts to try and make a body. It's a cool story, and
it definitely looks like they've been doing it a long time, as Chris said, when it cuts to her gazing over the body, and Yashiro asks about her friend, and she's like, they're all here. And it zooms out, and you see just a huge pile of bodies, which is kind of creepy until it's revealed that they're all turned into dolls. But it's still creepy.
Also, later in the episode, when one of our main characters turned into a doll, they're still conscious. He was thinking about being a doll when they left him in the corridor at the end. So, like, those people in that pile, they're aware of what's happening to them. They're just lying there like, holy shit. I've been turned into a doll and I can't move, and I'm stuck in a ghost realm.
I'm going to be here for the rest of existence.
And also her friend's head falls off at some point. All very terrifying.
Oh, yes. But no, yeah, basically we discover that Misaki is not the female ghost who's been talking to us this whole time. We've been trying to construct a body for Misaki, which makes sense, because Yashiro, being reasonably intelligent, was confused on the way up, being like, how is a person who wants a body able to talk to us over the phone? Applying some logic in an illogical realm, because it's kind of like, well, in my brain would have just gone, well, she's a ghost, so she can use the phone. But Yashiro was like, no, she needs a body to use the phone.
We're a ghost, and we're in a paranormal dimension where, like, literal dolls are trying to kill us. I wouldn't have looked that deeply into it, but...
But Yashiro did, and it paid off for her, because, like we said, Misaki, they're trying to construct a body for. And after failing, because she, like, breathes life into it, and naturally it falls apart, because, I mean, hell, it had, like, a wheel for a leg, and a random assortment of hilarious body parts. They weren't even trying.
I do like how she was like, this is unlike any body I've seen before, this must be it. This must be what a human looks like. And then she was dead chuffed with that body at first, until it, fell apart.
Because I imagine all the predecessors actually either didn't try at all, or, actually tried to make a consistent-looking body. But yes, anyway, after their failure, she then goes into, like, psycho killer mode. I say psycho killer. She fights with a giant pair of scissors, the same pair that tried to supposedly kill Yashiro before. But as I also mentioned, all the bodies behind them in a pile are all dolls, and whenever the pair of scissors hits you, that body part turns into a doll.
Her fighting with a giant pair of scissors reminded me of another anime. I'm trying to think in my head what it was now.
I'm trying to think what it is as well. It's
Kill the Kill.
It's a surprisingly common thing. It might be Kill the Kill.
I remember that. Like, she had half a giant pair of scissors. that must be what it's from. I like that anime, despite it being weird and creepy at times.
I do quite like Kill the Kill. It was one of the first anime I watched after my initial few anime, because my initial few, like Attack on Titan. Technically, I'm still going to count Avatar: The Last Airbender and Sword Art Online and a few others, and then Kill the Kill came along. And it was a fun watch, despite it being very weird, as Chris said, but hey, this is anime.
It was very different from what I'd watched before, but somehow it obsessed me for a time. I was like, not even in the creepy ways that you might expect, but it got me. I was like, this is weird, but I'm weirdly invested.
I'm really invested in the show where clothes are the bad guy.
Where to gain more power, you strip off, basically, or wear, like, fancy power. Anyway, this is not this show. This is a different show.
No, but seriously, Kill the Kill. Go check it out. It's a wacky fun time. Although a lot of people hate the main character's best friend in that, so watch out for that. I don't.
Yeah, I
people
I found her charming.
A lot of people find her annoying, but I went in being like, this is anime, shit's weird, and there's always, like, one really annoying character, so I think I just numbed myself to it by that point already. I'd accepted my fate. Anime is weird. But seriously, go check it out. Now, back to this episode. So she goes psycho killer mode and tries to fight them. Minamoto takes the first blow, and this is how we discover it turns individual body parts into doll-like things, because his arm turns into a doll when he blocks the attack on Yashiro. And then him and Hanako fight her off, whilst Hanako also kicks Yashiro off the edge, being like, well, the Yorishiro isn't up here, so try the bottom. Bye.
He was very confident she'd get to the right place. He was very confident it would be down there.
He was, but at the same time, he does seem to know everything about the yokai in the school, so I'm just kind of like, he knows what he's doing. It's like, if it's not up, it's down. It's like, okay, Hanako, I mean, you know more than the two people who don't, so we'll take your word on it.
You know more than I do about it, so we'll take your word.
So no, yeah, that happens, she falls to the bottom, and here we get our explanation of everything that's going on, basically, which is the nice touch Chris was on about before, where they explain, like, the origin and stuff of these. So we learned that Misaki was indeed a teacher at the school, but it's just not her. It was a male teacher, and he could interact with that woman's name, who at this point we hadn't learned, but later on we learn it's what was it? Yako. She was apparently a spirit at the local shrine who a fox spirit who, for some reason, Misaki could see and interact with, and on a regular basis she would scare the children that went to his school, but he got her to stop doing that and even taught her how to, like, read and write, and gifted her a pair of hair-cutting scissors, which is why she seems to fight with a giant pair of scissors. And even somehow dragged her into a photo, which I'm like, okay, I'm fine with you interacting with her and stuff, but how did a normal camera take a picture of her?
For a while, I thought he just thought she was another pupil, but then it was in that particular one where he dragged the fox spirit out of a literal statue. I was like, oh no, he knows she's a ghost. Well, not a ghost, a spirit.
But no, yeah, it was a really nice, touching thing, really. Again, this is a feel good show, despite it, because it kind of like goes along the route of Blue Exorcist a little bit, where it's kind of like, right, we've got to stop these evil yokai, but then it has nice solutions.
Well, the yokai
and nice backstories.
The yokai rarely turn out to be evil. Well, I say rarely, we're 4 episodes in. The yokai don't really turn out to be evil so much as misunderstood or need redefining.
And yeah, Hanako eventually appears down because, well, at first the lady, Yako, appears, and I'm like, wait, where are Hanako and Minamoto? And then Hanako appears being like, yeah, sorry, she beat the shit out of us, give me a minute. Go, break the thing, quick, please. So Yashiro runs off, takes the seal off the pair of scissors, and that enables Hanako to basically go full power and take her out with one swift attack, stabbing her in the chest. But it doesn't actually kill her, because she comes back as a fox spirit in their school once they've all returned. Which I found that interaction adorable as well between Yashiro and the fox spirit, where she's like, I'm sorry, here's the photo, and then the fox spirit bites her hand. She's a spiteful spirit now. At least towards Yashiro.
She might not be killing people, but she's still a bit of a bitch.
But yeah, we get a nice moment there. She's like, I'm sorry, I took something precious from you, so here's the photo of you and Misaki. And like I said, spitefully bites her hand after she tries to stroke her, and tells us her name is Yako, and pisses off. And we get another funny moment where Yashiro's like, where's Minamoto? And then he just pulls out Minamoto as a doll. He's like, he fought to the bitter end. It's like, Hanako, you're a bit of a dick.
Hanako, if you hadn't neutralized his electric staff, he could be quite helpful.
But at the same time, we know why he did it. He didn't do that just to be a dick. It was for his own good as well.
True.
But no, yeah. And then after putting a charm on her to make her feel better because she's exhausted after relaxing, I think... No, that's not the end of the episode. In episode 3, I missed over another thing. A boy bumps into Yashiro in the hallway when she's running off trying to figure out what happened to Aoi, and attaches a what's it called? Irigami?
Oh, I have no idea.
I think it's an irigami. When you fold paper into specific shapes like a crane or stuff like that.
Oh, origami.
Origami, that's it. Thank you.
I thought you were talking about because it turns out to be like a spirit, like the little balls, like the little balls that Hanako has. It's like a little spirit ball.
I think those are called Judo Hakai or something like that.
Oof, that's the one I have no idea about.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about when the boy bumps into it, and then after they part ways, he sends the spirited origami, which attaches itself to Yashiro, and then at the end of episode 4, it floats away back to the boy, and he runs off to another yokai who I think we've seen a few times, because I think that's the announcer girl. She's definitely in the intro anyway. Don't know about the outro.
I don't know. She is in the intro, so I'm assuming she's a antagonist of some description, or at least a future member of the team.
I have no clue yet. I have absolutely no clue what her intentions are, because he returns to her with the thing, and we don't really get much out of them. He just says, no, he doesn't say anything. I think she talks to the origami, and she's like, oh, that went well, thank goodness. And then the episode ends. We don't get a preview for next week's, which I was a bit disappointed in, because I quite like that preview style of, have you heard of this tale?
I really like it, where on the radio, and then Hanako turns off the radio, and then it goes into the outro thing. I don't know. I really like the animation style and the way it transitions between all that sort of stuff.
I was genuinely a bit saddened that it wasn't there. Made sense in episode 3 because it was a 2-parter, but for episode 4, I was like, oh, what's the next one going to be? And then it didn't say. I was like, oh.
I also like I don't know if they do it in the sub version, but in the dub version they put a crackly 1920 radio static over what she's saying, so it sounds
I think they do as well.
extra radio-y to me. And I'm like, that's cool, man. I like that.
Yeah, I do always like old-timey effects on things when people put attention to detail. I don't know why, like old-timey voices just sound so cool. Like old-timey radio voices. Nothing quite sounds like it nowadays.
Combination of people spoke a bit weird, and also we have better technology now.
Yeah, it's a shame. I kind of want it to come back, but oh well. But no, yeah, and that wraps up the 2 episodes of this week's Toilet-Bound Hanako-Kun. So, Krishna, what did we think of that 2-parter overall? Because I really enjoyed it.
Oh, I really enjoyed the show. It's not like a high action or a high drama sort of show. It's not even like it is a bit high drama. I like it. It's like I like the story setup, I like the way its story is set up. I like how the fable is told to us, investigating the fable, and the resolution style of it. I don't know if that's something they can evolve in the future, but it's a cool setup for now.
Yeah, the way I would describe this show is it's a bit mysterious, obviously, because mystery comes with the supernatural, especially when you along with the main character being introduced to these things as we go. But it is also a very despite the few action moments it has, because they are few and far between, they don't actually happen that often. Because there's no like major fight scenes. It's usually a fight begins and then we'll either cut away from them or it'll be over very quickly. But despite those, it's a very, I'd call chill. It's a very chill and, like we said before, feel-good show as well. It's a very enjoyable experience to watch. But obviously, if you're not interested in yokai at all, then you probably wouldn't enjoy the show too much. But you might still enjoy it to be fair, its main characters, because the main character Yashiro, she's adorable, and then her and Hanako and Minamoto combined, it's just generally funny.
They all have their very distinct personalities, and they bounce off each other very well. And also, the show's gorgeous. Watch it for its art style alone. Yeah,
true. I cannot emphasize that enough. Like, the character designs were all great, and the art style and animation itself is quite the wonder to look at. It's quite distinct from anything that's currently out, I do believe, anyway. Like I said, anime might have done this style before, but I haven't seen it, so this is the first for us, and it looks wonderful.
Especially in the set of animes that we're watching at the moment, like Darwin's Game and No Gun's Life, I'd say, are on the lower end of the quality spectrum. Not like super low, but they're like, a little clunkier. ReZero is obviously a good-looking show, but this one, in this set of anime, has a very distinctive look to it. I'm sad when it's over, because I'm like, I want to see more of its unique look.
Agreed. Okay, so do you have any more comments on those 2 episodes before we go? Anything I missed or anything else you want to say?
No, just enjoyed my time thoroughly with Toilet-Bound Hanako-Kun.
Agreed. Good show indeed. So if you like the sound of that, and you haven't seen it yet, but have been willing to sit through our spoilers, go check it out. And if you have seen it, we hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Okay, so with Toilet-Bound Hanako-Kun out of the way, that leads us swiftly on to our next show, which is Darwin's Game, episode 2. I've not noted I just want to make a comment on it now. I haven't noted the actual titles of the episodes. I think I used to do that, but I just can't be arsed now. It's extra writing time and space. And my hands really fucking hurt after writing for, about 3 hours in a row?
I'm sure people don't mind.
But no, yes, episode 2 of... Oh, go on.
Quick question about Darwin's Game. In the sub, when they say Darwin's Game, did they say it in English? Did they say it in English every time, or does it have a Japanese name instead?
No, it's Darwin's Game, because a lot of Japanese language... not a lot of Japanese language, but a lot of words in Japanese nowadays are what we call borrowed words, and they have their own dialect for that, so they do say it basically in English. Think of it as Japlish.
I see.
But no, it is called Darwin's Game in Japanese. You're not really. It's in Japanese. It's actually Darwin's Game. That's literally it, because they just use they have 3 alphabets. They use their borrowed one to spell it, and most of the time it just sounds like the language it came from with a Japanese tint to it.
I see.
I do like Japanese like that.
I do like a good bit of Japanese people speaking English in the middle of an anime.
But you're not going to get full sentences of this, because
it's true. I'll never forget Kuroko's Basketball, where they went to America, where everybody talked like the most generic American accent and very slowly.
See, it works so well when it's just the odd word like Darwin's game, but when it's full sentences, it makes my heart and myself just cringe so much, whereas Chris loves it to pieces.
It gives me deep enjoyment. That's the one sad thing about watching the dub. I don't get to enjoy my Japanese English.
Well, you could start joining me in the sub, but it is a little less relaxing because you have to pay attention to all the subtitles.
True. I feel like it offers a different perspective at the very least. Like
it does.
You do the subs, I do the dubs, and then we can cover both camps.
It still annoys me because in the show they keep calling the clan. They keep subbing the clan Ace when it's 8th, and it's really annoying. I need to actually listen to the word that they say when they say the name of the clan, because I'm pretty sure they're saying 8th. But because it sounds so similar to Ace, they probably just went, it must be Ace. They didn't bother looking at the fucking characters.
Again, I can't remember exactly what they say in the dub, but it's something like Crazy Eights. Like, not 8th or Ace, but Eights. The Crazy Eights or something like that.
So we have 3 variations of this. Fuck's sake. Right, anyway. Mini rant over. Darwin's Game, episode 2. So, we got back to our pair, which at the end of last episode woke up in bed together with Shuka being naked and asking to make a family with him, but she clarifies very swiftly that she means a clan in the game.
I feel like that was a misdirection just to have naked anime ladies doing vaguely sexy things.
No, what makes you say that? I've never seen a show do that before, Chris.
I think I'm
never.
picking up on something very subtle here in the subtext of the show, of course. Well, I was watching, I was like, what? Really? We have to do this? But Japan being Japan, they like their sexy anime ladies.
Of course. If anything could be a sexy lady, make it a sexy lady. That is pretty much the motto of Japan, I think. But yeah, so she explains that she wants to make a clan, and trying to follow my notes a bit more closer now. And after the discussion, Kaname agrees, but he isn't high enough rank to do so. But Shuka doesn't actually want to do it herself. She wants him to take the lead on this. But she says it in an embarrassed way, like they're in a relationship, because, why not?
Because I guess they kind of are now.
Kind of, not really. I don't know. It's weird.
It's something I kind of see in animes a lot, or at least I seem to think I see in animes a lot, where there's a lady who's like super into the dude, but like the dude just either doesn't care or doesn't notice. I feel like that happens a lot. Yeah,
that's definitely like a number one anime trope, which is in most anime. I would say all, because it's not, but many anime, at least the ones we've watched.
Like the one that I classically remember in my head is Death Note. And I can't remember any of the characters' name in that, apart from Light Yagami. But
yeah, but I'm pretty sure Light knew in that instance. He just didn't care, and he was using that to his own advantage. At least if you're on about who I think you're on about.
Yes, I am. It's just something I picked up on. Like, dude, this like super attractive lady's into you. Be into it too.
I think a Kamega Kill could fall into that category, especially considering that they all fall in love with him and then die, so he never gets the chance to notice.
True.
Right, okay, right. Anyway, back to this show. But yes, after they split up, he gets a notification on his phone about an upcoming event, and the next day they go on a, in quotation marks, date to Shibuya, which I looked this up, Krishna. It's a bit confusing. So they say the city of Shibuya. I looked up Shibuya City, and it does seem to be a district in Tokyo, like you said. But for some reason, it's referred to as a city as well.
In that case, it's kind of a bit like the City of London then. Like, there's an area in London that's called the City of London, but London is way bigger than that, and that's the Greater London area, or something like that.
Okay. That's, I guess that makes sense, because, like I said, they go on a date to scout it out for the event, and I was like, if you're scouting about a whole fucking city, that's going to take ages, but if it's district, then a district's still huge, but obviously it does still make a bit more sense then, because imagine trying to cover the city of London in a day on foot.
True, that would be impossible. I imagine it's almost equally impossible with Shibuya as well, because Tokyo is massive. I imagine their districts are huge as well.
But a district's much more manageable than a whole fucking capital. So I guess that's the version of Shibuya City we'll go with for now, unless someone in the comments wants to correct us or point it out on the comments of last week's episode. So yeah, they go on a pseudo date to scout out the area for said event. What next? Shuka also reveals that Kaname shouldn't talk about Darwin's Game in public, and that players of the game just often refer to it as the game or the game, because in the game's rules, if you disclose information about the game to someone who's not playing it, other than like sending them an invite to play, then you just get forcibly teleported and die.
Weird rule. If you ask me, I don't know how this game spreads, to be honest.
I don't know. I imagine through invites / maybe just randomly being on the App Store. I don't know. Because like I said, I could easily believe people will download the game at random and get sucked into it.
True.
People will download anything off the internet. And plus, I imagine the game's description like on an App Store would be innocent enough to suck people in. Because I doubt it markets itself on an App Store as, hey, join this game where you get to kill people.
Yeah, I feel like someone should have caught on by now. But I mean, in the second episode of this, we learned that the game can also like affect
manipulate
people's
people.
minds. So I guess that's not a thing.
But we'll get to that. So she explains that, and then later we see the Futaba-like girl again, who's referred to as the analyst, talking to someone, informing him that Kaname is in Shibuya district, which again makes more sense that it's the district than an actual city. Otherwise, how the fuck did he find him? Well, I mean, still, how the fuck did he find him? But yeah, we see a character whose name I did not note. I'm just going to refer to him as the Boxer. Is searching Shibuya for Kaname because word of him has swiftly spread that he beat the rookie hunter, and this one kind of bugs me a bit. It's like he beat the undefeated queen, and I'm like, so she was the undefeated queen. She's A rank, and our boy somehow managed to take her out. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm happy for our boy, but it feels a bit convenient.
Yeah, it feels a bit weird that like without any knowledge or like anything specific, he like outsmarted the best player.
Or at least the best. No, she is referred to as the best player in Japan, isn't she?
In the second episode, they're like when they're having their weird watch party, whoever those people are, they refer to as the best in Japan. So,
so yeah, it does bug me a bit, but it's just like okay, well, early days, we'll let it go. Again, this show does try to explain things, but at the same time, kind of screws itself over on its own logic. I don't know if that's the show's fault or the manga's fault. But either way, it's a bit iffy. You kind of have to turn your brain off a bit more for this one to accept its rules.
You just got to roll with it.
But yes, after that, the man finds Kaname whilst he split up from Shuka because she's like in the bathroom sorting herself out, and the man swipes his phone, and Kaname immediately realizes like, shit, I probably shouldn't have that open in public.
From this point on, I'd be keeping that phone chained to me. With that thing that's not leaving my sight.
Very secure case, and if I ever have to open it up in public, I'm looking around like a fucking hawk / owl, making sure no one is looking at me, because you don't want anyone seeing that you've got D-Game open, otherwise they could just be like, die. But no, yeah, he takes him, makes him follow him to a secluded alley where he goes to fight him because, like he said, he's like, hey, you took out the top player and the rookie hunter, so I want to fight you. And they begin the fight. He gets knocked. I call him the Boxer because he uses a boxing style. I can't remember his name, but he's part of like a boxing clan, and he takes Kaname down in like one punch, and he's like, oh, that's disappointing. Go get Shuka. I'll wait. And Kaname outdoes him with his stun baton at first, which I feel like one hit from a stun baton should definitely knock you out. Am I going mad? I'm pretty sure that's what they're designed for.
Yeah, no, you'd be out. That would, well, at least put you on the ground. I don't know if it would knock you out, but taser sort of stuff like that would certainly incapacitate you.
But no, the Boxer kind of just casually takes it, jumps away from him, and then they go to engage again. And I'll give Kaname some credit on this one. The kind of convenient feeling is there, but they do kind of show it. So I'm just like, okay, no, fair enough. Because after Kaname just has explaining how important it is to have your phone on you at all times, because if someone else gets your phone, you're kind of fucked. It's not like automatic game over, but you're still pretty damn screwed.
It's described. You'll never know if someone's coming for you, basically.
And you can't use like the search function to find people, so it's still a pretty big hit if you lose your phone, and he uses that knowledge to his advantage, because then when the Boxer guy engages him again, he takes a hit on purpose and swipes his phone, and then puts the stun gun to it and is like, hey, do you want to lose this? And I was like, you know what? Fair play. I like it when he uses his head.
With our established rules and the rules they've just given us, that's a creative way to get out of the problem.
And the guy's like, don't think that's going to make me stand down. And then Shuka appears and he's like, what about now? And he surrenders. Just as the event is about to begin, and then that pretty much wraps up the episode, because the event begins and they all get teleported to separate locations. And we also, we see the clan leader of the 8th, I think his name was Wang, or something like that. And he kills someone immediately off the bat, who I imagine this is who you were referring to last time, Chris. You said she jumped off the building. She wasn't sure. She didn't jump. She was tossed off the building and lands splats in the street.
Right, same effect for the people down below. I was like, they should notice, but then the show, gives its explanation.
And we also see that the analyst has been teleported to what initially does look like the same building as Kaname. And that ends episode 2 of Darwin's Game. And then moving on to episode 3, I'm trying to remember what happens at the very beginning of it. We begin from Shuka's perspective as she jumps around to the ground where the girl was tossed from before by the leader of the 8th clan. And as Chris pointed out, because people do notice. Although they didn't quite seem to notice the specific events. They're like, this one girl's like, hey, there's that art I've been hearing about. Is that blood? And another guy's like, I did see a girl drop from the building. I feel like you should be a bit more concerned about that when he says that.
There should have been screams and gasps and panic down below. If someone was literally tossed off a building, I'm fairly sure in the middle of Tokyo they would have noticed. But they did, kind of.
It's like saying things go unseen in London. It's like, I'm pretty sure in London someone's watching you at all times because there's that many fucking people there. And I imagine the same applies in this instance. But no, yeah. Then we get the kind of explanation where the game emits a signal from everyone's phone, because apparently they can just do that, and all the people who aren't playing the game for the event in that area kind of get, I guess the word is brainwashed, and kind of just all go, oh, I need to go home. And so they do. Imagine if they live in Shibuya, though.
Yeah, they're going to have an interesting time.
That's going to be annoying. Well, I imagine they just keep them brainwashed the whole time, so I guess... if they can brainwash them, they might give different people individual orders, but like some people go home who don't live in the area, some people like, I suddenly have an urge to go out of the city.
Also, like, from a practical perspective, I feel like they should be doing this event at night time, because there'll be people on business in the middle of Shibuya, like, oh, I'm running my hot dog stand, it's my livelihood, or I'm on a business, like, meeting or something, and there's something like, I've got to go home. You're going to tank Shibuya's economy that day.
To be fair, these people are giving the people behind us are giving kids superpowers and have initiated death games across the country / the world, possibly. I don't think they care.
Yeah, but when the like Satsuma office rings up their Tokyo office and like, hey, why did like half our employees not turn up to work yesterday? I'm like, we don't know. No idea.
Everyone was ill all of a sudden.
Everybody got the coronavirus and went home, I guess.
Topical. Well, that's definitely dated this once the coronavirus dies down. But, no, yeah, so we get that explanation, kind of, and then back to Kaname. Oh, yeah, that's it. We get a rundown of the event, basically explaining rules and what's actually happening. There are 300 rings spread across Shibuya, and the players have to go and collect those rings. But there's 300 players, and to survive at the end of the event, which is in 24 hours, you have to have 3 rings or you're dead. But there is also, at least Kaname speculates that there are, because it says round 1, so he's assuming there's a second round where more rings are distributed. So it could be possible for everyone to survive, but as is presented, 300 players, 300 rings, so people are killing each other over the rings. And it's summarized as a fun and friendly, what's the word? Hunt.
Treasure hunt.
Treasure hunt, that's the word. Thank you.
Scavenger hunt, maybe? Scavenger or treasure hunt, one of the two.
Either applies, I think. But yeah, so after getting the rundown of that, he leaves his room and sees that. I feel like he should have heard the commotion going on outside, because he literally opens his door and there's the line art of someone who's died, so I was like, how did you not hear that?
Also, there's a ring in his room, so the people who were killing out there, the winner...
should have spotted it.
Yeah, the winner should have spotted it in his room and come in and got it.
Again, there's that bit of convenience happened again, but yeah, it's kind of the thing. It seems to be a consistent thing with Kaname. It's like convenient events happen around him, but but then the show gives us knowledge, which then he uses to his advantage in a legitimate way. But then you're just like, why didn't other people do this before him? Because afterwards, people also use that knowledge against him, so the show's consistent in that regard. But beforehand, the show's just like, we'll wave across that until he learns it.
It's like everyone got the knowledge when he got the knowledge, even though they must have had it before.
It's a bit annoying because it's like, I like the character because he is actually reasonably intelligent and uses his intelligence, but the show gives him just that little bit of convenience beforehand to make sure he survives. And it's like, show, stop doing that. I want to feel danger for this guy.
I also feel from his. I feel like his. I mean, maybe his power gets overpowered later. I don't know, but right now his power seems a bit shit compared to the people who can like create plants with their minds. He's like, I can make a pistol whenever I want it. I'm like, seems a little shit, mate.
It does at the moment, but I imagine, and I'm saying I imagine because I haven't seen him do much more with it at this point in time. Because like I said, I've seen this show partially before because I watched up until episode 7. But from what I saw, without spoiling, he still doesn't make anything too crazy. But we can assume he can make more. Again, this is that thing we said this last week. I'm curious to see how far his power goes. It's like, could he make a nuke? If so, he'd be pretty fucking powerful. But we don't know what the limits are to what he can create yet. So.
It also seems he needed to at least touch the item, because that's what I assume he was doing with that dude's machine gun in the elevator when he gets all planted up.
That is also what I assumed when I saw that. What Chris is referring to, because we can quickly get to that bit. Basically, he encounters a guy coming up the lift when he tries to leave. The guy has a big fucking machine gun and tries to kill Kaname. And as Kaname tries to flee, he sees that the stairs are blocked by the plants that Chris mentioned before, which we later learn is controlled by someone called the Florist in the lower floors. So he goes back to the lift to try and escape. The guy corners him. His gun jams. Kaname turns and pulls his gun on him. It kind of infuriates me, but at the same time, I do understand that they're establishing that this is his character. Basically, he pulls the gun on him, but refuses to shoot. And the guy's like, fuck it, I'm not shooting you. It'd be a waste of bullets. You might as well eat the bullet yourself. And I'm just like, okay, I understand you don't want to kill people. Fair enough. But when you have a guy right in front of you with a big fucking machine gun who's clearly established multiple times he's going to try and kill you, just shoot him. Save your life.
I wish he'd have the killer instinct, mostly because I enjoy seeing people get shot. But well, that makes me sound like a psychopath. But anyway, I want to see action. God damn it! But he's not got that killer instinct yet.
His whole thing seems to be he doesn't want to kill people at all. Which again, fair enough in today's society, especially Japan. I can understand that mindset. But if there's a guy right in front of me with a machine gun who's previously tried to shoot me with it, I'm going to fucking shoot him. Even if it's just in the arm, I would have accepted that. He didn't have to kill him. You can incapacitate someone with bullets. If you shoot their limbs, they ain't doing anything. Just don't shoot their legs, because dying from leg wounds is very easy.
Well, I mean, also in that respect, if he did incapacitate him, he wouldn't get any rings and he would die anyway. But yeah, he could have stopped him without killing him, I guess. But I just want him to shoot people.
Use your assets, damn it, use them. But no, yeah, guy leaves with Kaname's ring because he'd already surrendered the ring at that point, and then. We might cut away from this, but skipping ahead slightly, the analyst meets up with Kaname and introduces herself as someone else who also prefers flight over fight, and her name is Rain. And then the guy comes back up in the elevator, covered in plants and dead.
On the note of the analyst, I assumed she'd be like, give a fake name or just give her real name, not say that she's the analyst, because I assumed that was secret, because she was using voice modulators and whatnot, but she was like, yeah, no, I'm the analyst.
That makes sense, actually. Yeah, I'm surprised she gave away her real name that easy.
I just straight away, she was like, yeah, I'm the analyst, that's what I do. Let's go. I'm like, okay, but wasn't that a secret? Like, you didn't want people to know, but now he knows? It's weird.
Maybe she just judged that she could trust him with it. I don't know. Again, that's me making excuses for the show, so I'm not going to give it that luxury. If you have to make excuses for a thing, then that just means it might not be the best written. It's like when people come to me and say a bad film and try and justify it, and I'm just like, if you have to make excuses for it, it wasn't that good. And don't tell me the books make up for it, because that's not in the film.
I'm sensing there's a specific thing you've got in mind there.
Just maybe. But that's not the topic of this show. But it happens a lot more in recent years because a lot more bad films keep coming out of Hollywood, and it's really annoying when people try to defend it. It's like, no, criticize it, please. You'll get better films that way.
Also, it's more fun to engage with your media that way.
Yes, but anyhow, that little rant aside, so that happens, but in between that, we cut to this casino thing that Chris mentioned earlier, where people are spectating the event.
I quite like this. It's like expanding the world. There is someone behind this, someone who's benefiting from whatever the hell they're making people do. Because without that, it kind of feels like, oh, it's just like what benefit are you getting paying out all this money to these players and having them kill each other and do that? At least there's someone watching it, and it feels like there's something behind it more than just there's a weird app.
Yeah, and also more than just betting, because, and again, this isn't from any future knowledge, this is just from what was presented in this episode. But they mentioned something about giving people these powers, and from the way they were talking about it, it possibly sounds like these powers can either be extracted and or maybe they just like take the most powerful players, because they were on about certain characters and their powers, and one of the people there was like, if they were a boy, they'd meet the criteria, and I'm just like, so I assume they're like harvesting these powers for some reason. I don't know. I might be thinking too much into it, but like Chris said, there is a overall purpose as opposed to just this game exists.
Yeah, I'm hoping they delve a bit more into it. Because if I was Kahneman, I wouldn't just accept that this is how things are. I'd be like, who's in charge and who makes this game? I need to stop it, please. Yeah, no, agreed. And no, so I just really like that tiny bit of world building, because we go to that casino, they're spectating the event. We also spectate Shuka for a little bit, who's in an engagement with like 4 people and swiftly wipes them out. I like how those people were very confident. Like, we're going after the undefeated queen. I have the power to control projectiles in the air. She'll never dodge this. And then she breaks all the arrows in 2. And he's like, oh shit. Then she stabs them all. Like, guys, you shouldn't be this confident.
She's called the undefeated queen for a reason, bar one. I do also like, but also worries me about just how easy / casually she kills people, because she knows that Kaname doesn't like killing people, but she'll do it in a fucking heartbeat. I'm just like, I feel like I should be worried around you. He should be worried around you. She's killed so many people.
She has that killer instinct I need from this show, goddammit. She murders people left, right, and centre, and I need that, goddammit.
Oh, dear Lord. She your favourite, then?
Well, favourite fighting style. I mean, I have a soft spot for badass female characters in anime and also movies, I guess. So, sure. But, I mean, I don't really... Just a spoiler on my thoughts of the episode, I don't think there's any particular standout characters, even the main character, but I guess she's my favourite by virtue of being the most efficient.
Yeah, the main character, he's intelligent, and I'll give him that, and I do kind of like him, but he's not, like Chris said, a standout character. She's definitely the most standoutish so far, so on that I'll definitely agree.
But she falls into the same camp of like I've forgotten all the Attack on Titan, Mikasa, Akame Kill, Akame, like just kind of like blandish, like badass lady. That's her stamp so far.
Who will probably survive everything.
Probably.
But we don't know yet. She might not have plot armor. We'll see. It's too early in the show to tell.
I'm a sucker for that sort of character, but there's nothing about her that particularly like differentiates her yet for me.
But again, we can only give the show time. So at this point, at least where we're up to, it's only episode 3. So I imagine they'll develop them more as we go. Or at least we hope they'll develop them more as we go, because good characters are key in an anime most of the time. Along with fan service, if you can't have good characters.
If you can't have good characters, at least have them beat people up in a cool way. And Shuka's got that, so... Is that her name? Or did I just make that up?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. She's at least got the ability to kill people coolly.
Yeah, I do quite like her power. Kaname, like you were saying before, Kaname at least could partially complain about his power, because at least at this moment in time it doesn't seem that useful, whereas his friend is an idiot, because his power is super useful, and then obviously some really cool powers, like being able to control metal chains, and being able to control plants, which, as is revealed in episode 4, seem to be able to control people also. I want that power. That power is fucking cool.
It was very Poison Ivy-ish from Batman lore, I guess, where she controls plants, and she also, like, shoots spores into people and makes them her bitch.
Yeah, no, it's very interesting ability, which I look forward to seeing more of because I can only assume that they're going to confront him. But yes, after that, what do we see? Seeking Sugar. I'm trying to remember where we end the episode.
I mean, like him and the analyst.
I think we've covered the episode.
Him and the analyst team up, and they're like, go up a few stairs, and that's kind of it. They find like a lot more dead bodies.
Oh right, yeah, of course, because we already covered episode 2. This beginning, I keep forgetting because the way I've got these notes organised. That episode 3 is the second part of what we watched. But no, yes, at the end of it, they start running away from the florist's minions who he's controlling through the plants, and again, using their intelligence bits, so they like keep running away from them. Like, how are they following us when we don't have any rings on us? They can't be using the app. And she's like, maybe he's tracking us through the plants, and he's like, no, there aren't any plants up here. And then it actually makes sense. They seem to be what I think is a hotel, and he's like, shit, and then starts shooting out the cameras. And then we cut to the florist being like, clever.
I'm assuming the people who own the app come and clean up after all of this nonsense, but those hotel
I'd be very annoyed if that hotel's manager.
Yeah, that hotel manager in the next day is going to be like, what the fuck? what happened? There's cubes taken out of all my walls, all my security cameras have been shot. Something happened here yesterday.
They just come in and just like, celebrity, wild party, just don't question it. I don't know. I'm curious to see if there's an explanation as to the cleanup, because... I'm curious to see that, because they've tried to explain away some things, which we're letting them off on. The mind control thing, to explain people leaving the area for the events, like, fine, I'll accept that. But, yeah, if they explain a few more things, I'll be happy.
You see, the problem is the more they start explaining, the more things start to, like, fall apart a little bit, because it's augmented reality and not virtual reality, like, they're, like... You can't just be like, oh, they blew up a building and it doesn't matter, because it does matter.
Yeah, but real-world consequences are still a thing here.
But then their explanations are still a bit VR-y to me. I'm like, I get it. You just got to kind of suspend your disbelief, I guess, because, like, it's an anime. But at the end of the day, making it augmented reality does change the rules a bit, well, drastically, from being one set in a VR sort of scenario.
Yeah, because in VR you can do anything and it won't really matter, whereas in AR it's like, no, your actions definitely have real-world consequences. Like, I'm still curious as to what happened with the policeman from episode 1, because I'm like, he was outright killed, and he's not part of the game, so his body's not vanishing. So I imagine there's a police investigation going on there. That, or they actually do have a cleanup crew that's like, right, okay, we need to get rid of this body real quick. We need to explain his death somehow.
I don't know, that brings me back to like the wider picture. Like, I'm interested to see whoever's running this, what they get out of it, because they're spending a lot of money on like cleanup and just paying out to the players, because apparently one of these rings is worth like 50,000, was it, or 50 million yen? A lot of yen.
Yeah, 50 million. Because when he got told by Shuka that you can convert the points into money, and he tried it out just to see the conversion rate. Converted 10 points was worth 1 million yen, which the conversion rate from, at least the last time I looked, from Japanese yen to pounds is about 150 yen to the pound, roughly. So I did the maths, and that is 6,666 pounds. So we'll around that £6,500 per 10 points. That's a lot of money to be giving away.
Just for beating Shuka, you got like 600 points. These people are just like handing money out. I want to know what benefit they're getting out of this.
Yeah, like, their operation seems to be worldwide, so I imagine that they have a lot of money and resources behind them. But still, yeah, I'm curious to see where that goes. There's a lot of speculating we can do with this show, because it's early days, and I'm still enjoying the show enough. I'm not going to say it's a great show, but it's a good enough show to keep on watching.
Yeah, it's like the definition of enjoyably fine. It's like fine, and that's fine if that makes sense. Like it's good. I watch it. I enjoy it. I can't say it inspires any particular passion in me.
I just don't think about it too much, because they've tried explaining some things and those explanations do not work, and the character has convenience around him, which is a bit annoying. Because again, he's a smart character, and he uses the knowledge that he has and doesn't pull shit out of his ass. It's great. But everyone in the world seems to learn things at the same time he does, and it's like,
It's kind of video gamey in that way. I mean, I guess it is kind of like a video game. But it's like a video game if he was the main character only.
Yeah. But right, okay, so yeah, that wraps up the 2 episodes, episode 2 and 3 of Darwin's Game. Yep, just being sure. So, apart from obviously enjoyably fine, what do you think of these 2 episodes in particular as well, before we move on?
I quite like the Battle Royale setup. That's fun. I mean, like, then it just doesn't inspire passion within me. Like, I can't like enthusiastically like, yeah, I enjoy. It was fine. I enjoyed everything just fine.
Yeah, I'm curious enough to keep going and see what's going to happen, because they could again potentially do something very interesting with this, depending on the back subplot as well, and whatever other characters get introduced. But otherwise, it's just kind of like, it's all right. It's not an outstanding action show, but it's good enough. It would be better if the fight scenes were a bit better as well, because I mean, to be fair, we've only had like 2 or 3 so far. But like I said before we started the show, I don't find the animation to be the greatest, but I don't know if that's just like my perspective from having learned about it, or
it's not so much that the action's bad, it's just it doesn't happen enough for a show that's about all these superpowers and people like fighting over like resources. You'd expect there to be a few more fights.
Yeah. But anyway, we'll see if it picks up as we go. Hopefully it does, because I do want to keep watching, but as I said before, we've also dropped shows like a lead balloon if they become bad. So hopefully it doesn't go in that direction. Right now, it's still a mediocre meh.
This is no Persona 4 Golden.
It's no Persona 4, Elegant Yokai, or what was the other one we dropped? We dropped 3 shows.
Ooh, I can't remember.
I can't remember, and it's bugging me. But right, okay. Yeah, so that was Darwin's Game, episodes 2 and 3. Once again, reasonably meh. I would say go check it out, because you might potentially really enjoy this, especially if it's like one of your first few anime as well. If you're a seasoned anime watcher, then you might not enjoy it as much, is what I'll say. Ugh. But yeah, okay. So moving on to the lowest rated show of last week, No Guns Life, episodes 3 and 4.
I'm not so sure that's going to change for me on the rating scale.
Ooh, a harsh start. Okay. So
everybody, like Darwin's Game, it's like the mirror image of Darwin's Game. I'm a little bit positive Darwin's Game. I'm a little bit negative on No Guns Life, but that's just me.
I was gonna say I'm of the same opinion of both, so I'm slightly more positive than Chris. But this show also still isn't quite 100% catching me. I'm still 100% on board. If we were to drop it, I'd be like, yeah, okay. Like, I might watch it in my spare time, but otherwise I'm not like eager to watch this every week. Whereas ReZero, I most definitely am, and talking about Hanako-Kun, it's just like it's my stress relief for the week. It's always nice to watch that one. But yeah, okay. Enough about other shows. This week, I shall try and rebel through the plot once more. We see Tetsuro is at Mary's and is unable to control his limbs quite properly, and he also can't speak. We also get a brief flashback of him leaving someone behind when he was escaping the facility. And after the intro, we see what I presume is the local Yakuza. I think they were called the Kyusei group or something like that. I couldn't remember, and I never wrote it down.
It sounds right. It was the something group, and that sound it began with a K. You got it, I think.
Began with a K, ended with a say, something along those lines. But no, yeah, they one of the higher ups comes to Juzo for a job, being like, "Hey, someone's going around stealing extended kids' arms. Could you come sort this out?" And he, I don't know how to feel about his decision, because he's like, "Nah, do it yourself." But then he also explains that he knows it's a message from the company, considering. To do with the incident of him stealing Tetsuro away, so he knows it's not going to stop anyway. So it's kind of like, okay, fair enough, it's not going to stop, but shouldn't you help anyway?
I feel like he could, at least stop this little bit of injustice happening.
But no, yeah, I mean, he kind of does, but that's after he's forced into it. Because afterwards, Tetsuro, after hearing all this, is like, kids are being hurt because of me, I want to do something. And Juzo, to be fair, does give him frank advice. It's like, yeah, you can't even stand up right now, focus on yourself for a bit, then you can worry about others, which I thought was like, he delivered it in a dickish way, but I was like, hey, makes sense. You can't even walk. Just wait. Learn to walk before you run.
Or steal someone else's legs.
Yeah, or steal someone else's leg, which is exactly what he does. He uses his ability, Harmony, to just be like, hey, I'm going to take his body now, and I'll take myself with him. So he can't say I bitched out. But, later on he explains it's still a bitch move. I would have been a lot more pissed if I was Juzo after coming out of that.
Yeah, no, I'd be very annoyed. I would not want to be body snatched and then forced to fight a giant spider lady. That's not my definition of being all right with the scenario.
But no, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But no, yeah, he goes off to investigate, and naturally, as he didn't expect, the gunhead gives him a bit of trouble. Like, the first guy he goes and visits tries to, get a group of people to gang up on him and tear him down for parts. Which, to be fair, when Tetsuro is Juzo, I found it quite funny. Or at least reasonably funny.
I mean, spoilers for my thoughts, I don't think much of the humour landed with me in these episodes, but, why does this not happen to normal gunhead man, who I cannot remember the name of? He seems to wander around just fine without getting assaulted for his parts. But as soon as young boy Tetsuro takes over here, he's assaulted.
I imagine it does happen, but it probably happens off screen, and obviously Juzo can fight them off, whereas Tetsuro is like, fuck this, I'm out. But again, that's me making excuses for the show, so I'll stop doing that. It might happen, we'll see as the show goes on. No, yeah, so that happens, and then whilst that's happening, he decides to cover up his head so they won't get trouble for the gun, which it kind of bugs me a bit, this bit, because they made a joke last episode and this episode about not knowing where his eyes are, and then they cover his head with the thing, and I was like, ooh, finally we'll see where his eyes are, and he's just like, oh cool, I can see through this thing even though it's completely covered his head. I was like, damn it, how the fuck does he see? Tell me.
I kind of assumed his eyes were where the barrel was, but now that not the barrel, where the chamber was at the back, but when I think about it, that chamber must move, so his eyes can't be there.
Nope. I have absolutely no clue where his eyes are, and it's bugging me, but he obviously must see through some other means than actual eyes, because they covered his whole head and he can still see. But no, yeah, so that happens, he walks around, and he eventually finds two kids running away from a goon, which he assumes is the person who's been taking people's limbs. He intervenes, wipes him out very swiftly, because he doesn't realize how strong Juzo's body is. But then it's revealed that it's the kids who have been going around doing that, and they try and subdue Juzo's body, which briefly works, because it's revealed later this, but I'll say it now. Juzo temporarily kicks in, and the bullets heading towards him stick into his arm, as opposed to the backpack which Tetsuro has shoved himself in to carry himself around whilst using Juzo's body. And it knocks him out, because Giant Spider Lady uses venom-coated bullets.
Apparently so does that other guy who turns up again.
Yes.
I guess this is a speciality of whichever company that I've forgotten the name of.
That's why I call them the company. I hate the name. I can't remember the name. Even when I try to say it, it hurts to say, so just call them the company.
I will, yeah. I don't care enough to remember their name, so it works for me.
But no, yeah, the two girls, Anne and Ende, I think. Ende, Spider-Girl, goes on a brief rampage because she doesn't seem to be able to control her cybernetics properly or something like that. They don't quite explain it, but they briefly explain it.
Where do her robot bits come from? She's kind of like...
I don't know, they kind of just do like a normal animation, like anime transformation scene, and they're just there. Yeah,
she like Power Ranger morphs into a spider. Like, where did the matter come from?
It's like,
where are you hiding
there
that?
Somehow? Yeah. No, it's definitely weird. They kind of just, well, they don't even address it really. It's just, like I said, they do an anime transformation scene, and it's there, and you kind of just expect to believe it. It happens, so it's just like, okay, I'll take this one. It's weird though. But no, yeah, after that, they go back to the company representative, whom we saw at the end of... Was it last episode?
I think so. The one who was threatening him about cigarettes.
Yeah, it's the same guy as before, and we get the rundown of it was their job to draw out to Juzo, which he'd already guessed that for the things that happened before, and then Juzo's body, being drawn by Tetsuro, appears and intervenes because Company Man decides to retire the two girls for failing in their job.
Well, what I'll say about Company Man is I really wish he was more sinister. Like, he's just kind of like a doughy buffoon.
Yeah.
It's kind of his, like... In the first episode, it must be the first 2 episodes, the nun lady who liked to strip off before she fought, she was delightfully sinister, in my opinion. This guy is just kind of like a buffoon who gets things wrong.
Yeah.
And he's a bit too evil.
He's a bit too evil and also a bit too... like, I know it's a weird thing to say, but a bit too, like, animated. Like, with his evil laughing... It's kind of laughing I hate as well. It's like the evil pompous laugh. It's like, oh. I'm like, fuck off. Stop it. And also, like, disfiguring his face with his hands and stuff like that. Just stop. It would be better if you were like a silent, company man, funnily enough. Like, kind of like a silent, miserable company, sinister man. But no, he's just a bit too goofy.
Yeah, like with the face manipulation thing, like, it just doesn't fit with the vibe of the rest of, like, the other villains and the other characters, like, just don't do that. Except he's there, like, using his face like plasticine. I'm like, please stop.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, they have over-the-top elements, like Chris mentioned, the nun lady, she's reasonably sinister, despite, randomly stripping off before battle. Whereas he's just kind of annoying. But no, yeah, so that is the end of episode 1. Again, No Guns Live, very, very easy to sum up very quickly, because it's a very slow-paced show, so not very many events happen in the span of 25 minutes. But I guess that's kind of going with the noir thing, which is kind of possibly the reason why Chris and I don't look on this too fondly.
If I liked the characters better, I'd probably be way more on board. I just don't really like any of the characters.
The main character I like right now is Mary. That's about it.
Yeah, she's about the only one who's all right. Like Tetsuro. Is it Tetsuro? The mind control boy. He's whiny and annoying. I mean, I get it. You're a science subject, like a subject of many experiments. You should be whiny, but also at the same time, please stop.
Even the show points out, because after Juzo, we're skipping ahead a bit here into episode 4, but. When Juzo regains control of his body after Tetsuro can no longer use Harmony, he tosses him in the lift. He's like, right, okay, I understand what you did, dick move, but I'll take the rest from here. If you actually want to help these people, be good and fucking go down this lift. And even then he's like, no, fuck you, I want to help. And he's like, hey, you told me to act like this. I'm like, oh, he did. Why? Stop, you're acting too well now.
Please stop being a child.
Let the adult with superpowers fucking help you. But that was skipping ahead. So, that was the end of episode 3. On to episode 4.
Just as a last point on characters, I like Juzo himself, he's just kind of like bland noir cliches to me. And I want him to be a bit more, but he's just not at the moment.
Bland noir, moody cop with, to be fair, an awesome bullet. I'll give them that. When they finally fired his gun, because they fire it at the end of this episode, I was like, holy shit. Like, at first I was like, oh, okay, that's a bit disappointing. And then it keeps going. And goes into the sky. And clears some clouds. I'm like, oh shit. Okay, I see why he doesn't shoot that thing on a regular basis.
I kind of wish they'd held back the shooting of the head gun a little longer.
Yeah.
Even though I wanted to see it shot.
I wanted the build-up.
Yeah, but like from now in every fight we get into, I'm going to be like, cool, he's losing right now. But at any moment he could be like, hey, Tetsuro, pull this trigger. And then fight's over. You know?
Yeah, like I appreciated in episodes 1 and 2 the build up being like, I don't let anyone touch my gun, touch the trigger rather, and you never see him fire his gun or even attempt to fire his gun, and it's like cool. I'm looking forward to the build up where he's in a dire situation, he has to do it, and then they do it in episode 4, and I'm like, oh, okay, like it was cool, but as Chris said,
it kind of removes the tension on future fights.
But, oh well, we can't undo that now.
I mean,
Okay,
also on the note of people touching his gun, on the the bland noir moodiness, where it's like, I don't let. It would be fine if it's just like, I don't want people touching my gun, but he goes, I only let those who I trust touch my gun, and I don't intend on letting anyone get. I don't intend on trusting anyone. And I'm like, okay, you went a few steps too far on that sentiment there. You could have just had it all in the subtext. Instead, you spelled it out very clearly for us.
They could have. But again, it's the noir thing, and it's kind of like, apparently noir just doesn't quite click with Chris and I. Maybe it will as the show goes on, and that pleasantly surprise us at some point. But right now, it's just kind of like, Like the main thing holding this up is the kind of cool, because I haven't actually watched anything cyberpunk, but I like the setting idea, and it's kind of holding the show up right now, at least in my mind.
It makes me really want to play Cyberpunk 2077, or whatever the hell it's called, later this year.
Yep, gotta wait till September. It would have been out, I think, this month. It was either this month or April. It was supposed to come out before they delayed it, damn it. I'm also really looking forward to that game, though, because
Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, I haven't played The Witcher 3, and I haven't finished The Witcher 2 yet. Not because I don't like them, just because The Witcher 2 is fucking hard. So I'm looking forward to this one, which, if it's anything like those games, I probably won't finish either.
Probably. I imagine it's going to be very long, but this is not a gaming podcast, so we shall move on.
But still.
I do like the idea of human modification, specifically the Spider Lady. I like the look of Spider Lady, even though I have no idea where she's keeping all her spiders.
Yeah, it's like, there's no way that works when you're in your human form, but it is cool, and the rule of cool applies.
It would have been kind of cool if, like, the other girl was, like, the spider bit, you know? When they transformed, like, she just, like, attaches herself onto the other girl to become the spider
like a
bit.
2-in-1. Yeah, okay.
That would have been cool, but instead they just kind of, like, have her do nothing.
Yeah, no, she's pretty fucking useless. In fact, she doesn't do anything. Her only role is to keep Ende, the Spider Girl, in check, because she, like we said, she occasionally goes renegade, and the power of friendship keeps her sane. And it's like, oh.
No, here's how I would have done it. Right, earlier in the episode, I would have had our characters run into the Spider Lady, and they're like, oh shit, this is a Spider Lady. And then later on, you encounter these two girls, and you're like, can't be them, because they're two girls, and they've got nothing to do with Spider Lady. But then later in the episode, it's revealed that they combined together to make Spider Lady. That would have been a pretty cool mystery.
God damn it, Chris, why are you doing better writing the show?
Hi, me, Japan. I'll write your animes for you. I can't. Okay, I'm not that good. I have one good idea.
To be fair, this might not be the anime's fault. Might be the manga writers. But no, that is a better idea that I think I would have preferred, because there's nothing wrong with noir inherently, because noir is basically usually used for mystery, and mystery it can be very good. It's just the noir tropes that we kind of have a problem with, because the noir tropes are very heavily ingrained in anything noir.
It's the noir tropes without the backing of noir mystery. Like what I described then, it's not like a fully fleshed out. It would have added a bit of investigation or mystery to it. But in this one, he just kind of wanders through the streets until he sees the bad guys, and then he fights the bad guys.
Which I'll give a little leeway on, because it's Tetsuro controlling the body, so he's not a skilled detective. But if they were to do that with Juzo, then I'd be like, okay, yeah, fuck you. Because I imagine Juzo would have investigated properly, but again, we'll see as the show goes on, because we haven't actually really seen Juzo conduct an investigation yet. His first mission was to rescue the boy, and his second mission was forced upon him by Tetsuro controlling his body. So they might have some good mysteries, we'll see. We don't know yet, though. We don't find out in these two episodes. Right, okay, we've kind of been all over the place. So
yeah, sorry, I derailed you there quite badly.
It's fine. We've basically discussed the end before the beginning. The beginning is just to build up to these events, naturally, because we leave off with him intervening with their retirement, but because it's Tetsuro controlling Juzo's body, he's swiftly overpowered by the reps, two guards, and it's then revealed that it's Juzo. Which, to be fair, if I was that representative, I would have recognised that was Juzo straight away. His body is very distinctive.
Yeah, he's got, like, weird revolver bits all over him, and he's huge. Like,
yeah.
I feel like I would have recognised him.
Especially if that man had threatened me, like, 2 days ago. I'd have that man's image ingrained in my brain, being like, I'm looking out for him. But no, the sack that he put over his head gets ripped, and it's revealed that's Juzo, and this is when the company rep begins his, like, annoying, maniacal manipulating of his face and that pompous laugh, and it's just like, oh, fuck off. You could be intimidating if they did you right. Like, I don't even like the character's design, really.
Yeah, no, I don't like how he looks. I like if he was just like a tallish, like nondescript businessman who was like sinister. That's all you need. And this guy's he's like a cartoon villain in a show that's really not cartoony.
We say that with a show for a gun for a head, but believe it or not, in anime, you can have settings that aren't too cartoony. But no, yeah, I feel like I don't know. Maybe it's just because I've got Star Wars on the brain, but a good character design for that company rep, for example, like I could see someone like with the kind of same design / build as, like, say, Grand Moff Tarkin. Imagine I'd had someone looking like that and acting like him, being the company rep. That would be so much creepier and intimidating.
Softly spoken, like, but with like menace behind it. Like, you know, he can fuck you up, but he's like very soft spoken about it.
It's just like well spoken, but softly spoken, with an intimidating aura about him. An old gentleman as well, so he's got wisdom and years and knowledge behind him, presumably. They could have done something like that, but no, they just go with like over the top cartoony anime villain. I'm just like, oh, you could have been cool. But no, he's just like a short, podgy fella that's over the top. But okay, complaints about him aside, he realizes it's Juzo, and then at some point the backpack gets docked off, and they see that Tetsuro's there, and this kind of bugged me as well, because it's like, as soon as they see Tetsuro, he's like, okay, kill him, capture him, and you two will be good. And I'm not fussed about the girls hesitating, because, you know, the girls that don't want to do this. But then afterwards, he shoots one of the girls with the poison thing to get a favor from the Yakuza, because he'll interfere when she goes on a rampage. And then he goes to leave, and I'm like, hang on. I know you said that the whole point of this was to inconvenience Juzo, but Juzo's right there. Kill him, sort out your problem, and take the boy. Again, I'm kind of having Grand Moff Tarkin on the brain here, because like if Grand Moff Tarkin was there, or someone like him, he would have been like, okay, kill him, take the boy, and we've killed two birds with one stone. She can also still go on this rampage, and I'll get a favor from the Yakuza.
Yeah, like he explains it like, oh, I don't want to capture him right now because I want to destroy Juzo's life. I'm like, why do you give a shit about Juzo's life? Your job is to get that boy and bring him back.
Achieve your goal and wipe out a nuisance in one go. It's all well and good saying you want to make him suffer, but there's still a practicality in the background here.
You're a business person going on and on about these bloody cogs. You're like, oh, bad cogs make machines go shit, or whatever he's talking about, and then he's like, I'm not going to do my job then. Fuck my job. I'm gonna leave.
For fuck's sake. But no, yeah, that happens. Tetsuro's revealed. Juzo's kind of incapacitated because Spider Lady has like suspended him in midair, and Tetsuro's still controlling his body. But then, after the girls hesitate to capture Tetsuro / kill Juzo, Company Man shoots Spider Lady with the poison darts. I assume the same ones that she was using, like we said, and she starts to go into, I don't know, carnage mode. She's already in her spider form, and then she kind of just blows up again, and
she becomes an even cooler spider form. We'll say what I will about these episodes. I like Spider Lady.
Yeah, it's a cool design. There's a lot of things you can do with, again, the cyberpunk setting, cybernetics in general. She was cool to look at for the 5 minutes she was available. Tetsuro uses Juzo's body to try and protect Anne from the blast, but it doesn't work, and she dies swiftly after. There's also a mini confrontation there, because Tetsuro's like, "Hey, I can relate. I was also experimented on by the company. Stop doing this." And Anne, not Spider Lady's like, "Fuck you. You can't understand," because she just assumes this is a random adult. But then after she gets knocked out, it's like, "I'm dying. Help my friend in my place." I'm like, I feel like if I was Tetsuro, I'd be like, "Fuck you, you're about to kill me."
You weren't receptive to this at all.
It's like, I tried to help you. Fuck off. Yeah, it's all well and good that you hesitated to take me in, but you were still going to do it. But no, yeah, so she, in her dying words, are like, "Help my friend, she didn't do anything wrong," and he tries to use harmony to control her, but fails, because I did laugh a bit when she was like, You've got the Ring of Death, and they look at the back of his neck and it's the red ring. It just reminded me of the Xbox 360. I was like, the red Ring of Death. But no, yeah, he basically short circuits and can't use harmony anymore and loses control of his limbs again. But then Juzo comes back, because it's kind of revealed / semi explained later where it's like he's an older model and his harmony doesn't quite 100% work on him. Because hence, like, before, when he was being shot at, he moved his arm in the way to stop Tetsuro from being shot.
It's one of those things that I kind of discussed it last week. I'm like, why did their technology get worse? Like we can't use our shit on this old model. This old model's really powerful and it's blah blah blah. These new models are nothing compared to the old model. I'm like, well, why did we stop using the old models then? the old models seem so much superior.
It's like, don't get me wrong, I know as technology goes on, so obviously the older stuff gets irrelevant, but this is within one lifetime, and it's all cybernetics, like Wi-Fi and shit, so this should all really work interchangeably. Like, even today, you can get things that change videos into DVDs, which you could then convert into online video files. It's like, we still have the tech. They should still work together.
It's like having like an Xbox One X and being like, this original Xbox is better in almost every way somehow. I'm like, what? No, I'm not. I don't understand.
But anyhow, yeah. So he the poison darts wear off because those don't work quite well on him apparently as well, and he comes in, defends Tetsuro. And this is where we have him, like, taking Tetsuro to the lift, being like, fuck you for controlling my body, be good now, go away, and then he doesn't, and he almost gets him killed. It's like, fuck you, Tetsuro, stop being whiny.
Stop being a little bitch, Tetsuro.
I know he told you to last episode, but that was against the company. You know, the people who imprisoned you and experimented on you. This guy helped you. Stop it. And then this is where, again, it's kind of cool, her chasing them down the lift shaft, and he's like, right, well, you've kind of fucked up my body, so use the gun. And then we get the cool shot of the gun, which both is a really cool moment, but at the same time, like I said, deflates future conflict, really, and it's like, oh.
I feel like Spider Lady really shouldn't have survived that, like, at all.
Yeah,
he even says there's a 90% chance she'll die. I'm like, no, there's a 100% chance she'll die. You're blowing her body to bits.
Like, did you see how powerful that blast was? It went into the sky and parted some clouds.
Like, you disintegrated her. Top to bottom.
But no, we got our happy ending where he's walking away with Tetsuro later, and it's like, we've helped the kids, or at least Mary's on the way to helping them, because the poison isn't really poison, it's like a program which paralyzes the subbrain, which we explained last week controls cybernetics. So Mary's working on a cure for that, and also Ende got a normal cybernetic body from Mary, and it's like, yeah, okay, kind of forced happy ending. Shouldn't have survived that, but whatever. We'll let the kid have his first success. And then Juzo is kind of like, okay, and drops him and is like, you can walk the rest of the way, fuck you, and don't you dare control me again. Which, a mild reaction, I would definitely say, because I'd be like, fuck you.
I mean, if I was Tetsuo, I'd be like, how am I going to walk back? My legs don't work. You're leaving me in the streets.
Like, fair enough for him punishing him in that way. I'm not even fussed about that. I'd be like, you know what, fair play. But I would have been a lot more harsh with the kids. Like, you literally took over control of my body. Fuck you. Ever do that again, and I will shoot you with this gun. Yes.
Because logically, there's no reason he can't shoot his own gun.
Yeah. Like, the only thing I can think of is... But then again, his hands do seem like normal proportion as well. I was like, the only thing I can think of is, like, if they designed it so that his hands are, like, too big to pull the trigger, because you have to be able to get within that, like, trigger groove to actually pull the trigger. So if they designed his hands too big so that he couldn't shoot it himself, it'd be like, okay, nice attention to detail. But his hands seem perfectly normal, so there's no reason he can't just reach to the back of his head and shoot.
Yeah, as long as his arms are normally proportioned and long, he should be able to reach the back of his head.
And have the normal range of human movement, because that's another explanation they could have as well, actually. Like, they lock his rotors so that they can't rotate that far back or something in his arms, because his arms seem to be cybernetic. It's a bit confusing, because he bleeds, but at the same time, he seems to be able to shrug off shots to the arm very easily, so...
I mean, he also got stabbed straight through the chest this episode, and just walked away from it.
Yeah,
it's fine.
We need some explanation as to how much of him is human and how much is not, because we've seen him bleed, so there is organic stuff there still. But cybernetics is cybernetic. The whole point of cybernetics is it's the fusion of human and machine. It's not just machine, and it's not just human. So as the show goes on, maybe it'll explain how much is what, because it's a bit confusing as to what he can and can't take in terms of damage and where. Because there'd be a bit more investment if it's like, if they get his heart, he's still fucked. But he got stabbed clean through the chest today, and he was fine. And obviously he doesn't have a brain in his head, so it's like, how do you work? Where should I be worried?
Explain to me, at what point should I be worried in these action scenes?
But no, yeah, that's the end of these 2 episodes. Another 2-parter. Tetsuro goes on his own little adventure using Juzo's body, and eventually Juzo saves the day. And at the end of that episode, we get a look of some lady looking at the footage of of Juzo's shot to the sky, and she's like, Juzo, you know what this means, don't you? And then the episode cuts off, so that's obviously going to lead into something, who knows what. We kind of mainly discussed our thoughts on these already, but thoughts before we move on to the final show of the week?
I feel like the show really wanted me to care about Spider Lady and her friend, and I just didn't care about Spider Lady and her friend.
I would agree with the sentiment. I was, because they were trying to like do the thing of like, oh, they were friends whilst they were in captivity and experiments. I assume they're banking on the experiment on as a child thing, which, don't get me wrong, is horrific, but this is a show, and you still need to kind of make me care about them other than just showing them and being like, hey, this horrible thing happened to them, because they were also doing horrible things, and when Spider Lady and her friend, when Spider Lady's friend died, I was like, I don't feel sorry for you at all, bitch.
I don't feel bad about this in the least bit. You worked for the bad guys and did bad things.
And you were going to continue working for the bad guys, even though someone in your situation was trying to talk you out of it. And you took kids' arms off them and put them into comas. Fuck you.
It also didn't help that these episodes were Tetsuro driven, and I find him borderline unbearable at times. But Juzo I find a bit better, even though he like spouts his like
Juzo's dull
platitudes.
Juzo's dull, but he's not annoying as long as he doesn't go too far into noir, which, to be fair, when he's talking business, he doesn't too much. But Tetsuro was just kind of annoying throughout. Like, he had 1 or 2 funny moments, at least for me. Chris didn't find them funny, but I kind of did. But otherwise, it's just like, you're an annoying kid. Stop this.
Well, also on the Juzo front, actually, like, when he was just, like, turning down the Mafia, like, I wish he was a bit more... It was like... In my line of work, there's only one thing I abide by. You should wipe your own ass. I'm like, just say no. We don't need to like go on like this whole like metaphor-driven like diatribe at the Mafia. But
unfortunately, noir writing. But yeah, okay. So I assume our opinions of this haven't changed. Yours is meh with a slight negative, and mine is meh with the slight positive again.
Yeah, I'd say I'm a little bit more negative than I was last week, but it's roughly the same. It's not. It's a fine show. Like, I can't find anything particularly like super wrong with it. Only that I don't like what it does that much.
I've remembered now. Black Clover. That was the other show we dropped because we found we found the characters unbearable, which hopefully Tetsuro doesn't continue to be unbearable. Otherwise,
well, he doesn't scream every like 2 minutes repeatedly and like boring into my soul. So. He shouldn't get to that point.
Hopefully. As again, I do want to continue its show because we've started and I want to see where the story's going. But at the same time, if we were to drop it, I wouldn't be like, I need to see the show. I might watch it in my spare time. But no, if you're a fan of the noir setting and don't mind the tropes, you're definitely going to like the show, I feel, because it has a good setting and an interesting premise. The characters aren't the greatest, but still, if you're looking for noir, you're going to get noir. Noir cyberpunk, that is. Whereas if you like Chris and I, it's kind of just...
with the characters that aren't particularly inspiring for me personally.
Apart from Mary, she's had the most character and seems to be the most likable so far.
Yeah, she's alright.
But okay, so that was No Guns Life, episodes 3 and 4. Another meh round from us. Hopefully the show will improve as we go, and that leads us to the final show of the week, which is ReZero Episode 2 Director's Cut. Which again, is a brief explanation, because Season 2 is coming out soon. They're doing the Director's Cut, where they release 2 episodes as one, occasionally with some unseen footage, which, again, because it's been that long since I've seen the show, I don't know if I've actually seen any unseen footage yet, but, anyhow. So, okay. Do you want to try and do this again, Chris, or do you want me to do it? Because I do have a plan for not spoiling things now.
I mean, if you want to do it, I'm happy to try and take over. I have no notes, so mine would be completely rambled off the top of my head. But if you have a plan, take the plan.
All right, I'll take the plan, and we'll do the usual method you pitch in. Basically, because when I do these recaps, usually I don't actually look at my notes. I usually use my notes if I think I'm forgetting something. So with ReZero, what I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to read my notes, so I don't accidentally spoil anything. But the one thing I will address right now is the spoiler that I did last week, which was when I slipped up and called Satella Emilia, which we finally find out at the end of this episode. Her name is Emilia. That was my one slip up last week.
Just, I guess, it's not even that big a plot point, really. It was a nice plot point. A funny plot point, even, but...
That's the thing. That's why I didn't want to spoil it. Because I was that's the kind of thing I'm worried about spoiling. But now that that's out the way, I don't have too much to worry about, because that was the first thing. But yeah, okay, so, ReZero episode 2. It seems at this point in time, because we cut off last time with, oops, hit my mic there, sorry. It seems that, this point in time, after he called her the, witch friend of his name, Satella, that, Felt hadn't actually stolen the insignia yet, because after she ignores him and turns around, goes to leave, Felt rushes in, steals it, and fucks off, and then, to be fair, kind of naturally, Emilia, at this time, is like, were you just stalling me? And then ignores him again and fucks off, chasing after Felt.
It's a fair enough reaction, to be honest. It's a very typical pickpocket routine.
Yeah, and he did just call her what I assume is like calling them the devil's name in our world. I feel it's like he shouted the N-word or like some other unsuitable word to say in public, because again, everyone in the street was looking at them. Even in this episode, one of them was shouting at him like, "Yeah, come on, man, that was way too far."
I feel like it's calling someone Hitler or something like that.
Yeah,
like, hey, don't call me Hitler because that has very negative connotations.
But no, yes, that happens. She fucks off. Subaru chases after her and encounters the three muggers again. And he's just like, for fuck's sake, piss off. But this time,
because at this point, he's not yet twigged on that what is going on.
To be fair to him, this was a very short life, because the mugger accidentally stabs him, and then immediately in the next life, he realizes what's happening, finally. So he does realize pretty quickly into episode 2. It just took the third death to finally realize it. And he dubs his new ability, Return by Death is what he calls it. Or, if it kind of bugs me that he doesn't just call it respawning, because that's what I would call it in that situation. It's like, every time I die, I seem to come back at a checkpoint.
I would also probably call it respawning, but I'd also probably be a lot more emotionally distressed than he is. I would be crying in the corner after just being stabbed in the back.
Yeah, I'd probably still be nursing that wound that isn't there a little bit. But to be fair, at the same time, I would kind of have his initial reaction, because his initial reaction to this is, cool, okay, I can come back to life. Death is painful though, so I don't want to do that. But fuck it, I'll use my 21st century knowledge to, I don't know, make me money somehow in this world after I sell off my initial things, which apparently are worth a lot of money. But
I'd have kept to that plan if I was him. I'd be like, fuck returning her bracelet, I'm becoming the king of this world. And somehow would have done that, I guess.
To be fair to him, his reason for going back to do the thing does make sense, because he doesn't just go back to return the insignia. He goes off to go do his plan, but before he enacts it, he then actually, remembers the deaths of Emilia, Grom, and Felt from his past life, and is like, for fuck's sake, I can't just let them die, knowing that they're going to die. It's like when you have the ability to time travel, and you know someone's going to die, and he's like, I should probably stop this.
True.
So
I guess I'm not as virtuous as our main character.
He goes back with a good enough reason other than just returning the insignia, which in my mind makes sense. I don't know if I would do it, because, again, like Chris said, it's like, I don't want to experience death again and again and again. But he's doing the right thing, so it passes. It passes.
Oh, here's the thing I want to ask. That might be a mild spoiler, but it would aid me in my knowledge of what's happening. Does he always return to that stall when he dies, or does it like reset every day, or something like that? Like, does he always return to a certain amount of hours previous, or does he always return to that stall?
all I will say in regards to that, because it's a minor spoiler, basically unknown. Because I'll say this now because you'll have figured it out from that statement. Honestly, it's not always the same point, but the show never really elaborates on it. It does seem to change. So I was actually giving this some thought as we were doing this, because I was sitting here thinking, because again, it's not explained in the show, at least not in season 1. It's like, I wonder if it's a case of like a few days go by, like it could be a case of after a certain number of days, or basically after a certain amount of time passes, he gets a new checkpoint. I don't know though. Again, it's not been explained yet, so.
Same. I was just wondering that, because I was like, if I get to like episode 10 of this, and then he dies and goes back to the goddamn store, I'm gonna be like, show.
No. It's not quite that repetitive. But okay, so
also, this is complete theory crafting here. This has got nothing to do with anything. But if he gets to the age of like 85 years old and then dies of a heart attack at night, will he then just be stuck in purgatory for the rest of his days, reliving his like final 3 days as an 85-year-old man?
That would suck, wouldn't it?
You'd be always stuck knowing, no matter what I do, I'm going to die of that heart attack tomorrow.
Just going around, you'd have to basically like go around the country being like, I'm going to die tomorrow, help me, over and over again, trying to find like the best doctor ever to cure him of old age, otherwise yeah, it's gonna suck.
Doctor, I need you to cure me of old age.
And I need you to figure it out in a day, please. Well, funny enough, I don't know a thing of that, because funny enough, the show doesn't go to these 85, season 1. There'd be a bit of a boring season 2.
It was a question that popped into my head just now. I was like, that would be hell. That's Groundhog's Day to the worst extreme.
Because you can't even control that death. But no, okay, so after he figures out his power and resolves to go help them, because he doesn't want them to die again, because he did kind of get to know some of them. He likes the three main people he's met so far. He encounters the muggers again, because fate seems to be a thing. Cause it's kind of like a time travel loop where it's just like the things that happened before must happen again. Kind of, because he always seems to encounter these fucking muggers, as well as other things happening.
He insists on going down the same side street every time. If he just didn't
go that street,
if he didn't go that way, he wouldn't get stabbed.
Is it the same side street though? Like on the third life, yes, because he dies to them again whilst following Emilia, who's following Felt. So it makes sense that he goes down the same side street. But that fourth time when he's on his own, it's like I feel like he's just destined to fucking meet these people. I don't know. That's a complete guess on my part.
I assumed it was the same side street and that he was just an idiot for going down there again and again.
It might be. I legitimately do not know in this instance. But no, to be fair, kind of like a solution this time round. Because he heard them over talking last time when they accidentally stabbed him, and they were like, shit, now the guards are possibly going to find us. What if they find us killing him, man? We didn't want to kill him. So he just shouts for a guard this time rather than just fighting them, which... a good solution, but to be fair, when you've seen him already beat the shit out of all three of them, I don't know why he didn't just do that again.
Yeah, he's already unleashed his incredible kung fu skills on these people before. He can just do that again. And just keep doing it. It'll work out the same way every time.
Yeah, but to be fair, it works out well for him this time as well. I imagine he would have just gone to that if this hadn't worked. But he shouts for a guard, and we get introduced to the character known as Reinhard, an elite knight, or who's referred to as a master swordsman. And the muggers fuck off, and he kind of makes a friend with him, and then asks him to leave a message for he doesn't use the former name because now he knows that it's like the equivalent of shouting Hitler in the street. He's just like, girl with white hair is kind of gorgeous. If you see her, leave a message. Don't go to the loot house. And then fucks off to the slums. Reinhardt, very nice fellow. We don't get much of him in this episode. I keep getting confused as to whether or not to refer it as this episode or these 2 episodes, because it's 2 into 1 and it confuses me.
Well, it's 1 episode of the
director's cut. But no, yeah. So he fucks off to the slums, and he's asking for directions to Felt's, and he finds Felt's place, but because Felt finds him in her hut, so she assumes he's a thief and tries to fight him off initially. Not quite kill him, but she's definitely going at him with a knife. She just wants him to fuck off.
I don't know, it seemed pretty killy to me.
Oh, yeah, no.
If that knife had contacted, he'd be dead.
She wants him to fuck off, but at the same time, he's sticking around, so she's definitely trying to stab him. I'm not going to deny her intent to kill there. No, yeah. They fight. He's able to hold her off enough to the point that he actually manages to blurt out why he's there. She mainly stops because he knows her name, so she assumes that she's come to her with a job. And he tries to sell off the phone, same as last time, but felt, to be fair, smart girl doesn't just take it at face value. It's like, no, I need to go get this evaluated, so they go off to see Rom. They have a nice little chat along the way, and she tries to distinguish herself from the other people living in the slums. And then Rom's like, yep, no, this is worth 20. And Subaru is desperately trying to get paid before Elsa arrives again. Which is fair enough. Oh, in his search for Felt, he also encounters Elsa again.
And, he does. And he's horrified by her on account of the fact she guts him.
Yeah, no, I'd be pretty damned fucking terrified as well.
I'd be horrified. I'd be horrified enough to give up my plan and leave. not to be there anymore.
Yeah, no, they have a tiny bit of, I wouldn't call it banter, but a tiny chat where she's just like, "You're terrified of me. Why?" And he's like, "Why would I be terrified? No reason at all." It's kind of a cool moment where she's just like this very intimidating presence for a second because we've seen her kill him before, and she could see that he's terrified of her for presumably no reason from her perspective.
Luckily, she doesn't press the issue.
She's just kind of like, "Yeah, I'm busy. We'll maybe take this up later." And so after that, go to Rom's, gets evaluated, wants to leave, but Felt gets suspicious, like, why are you in such a hurry? Because, again, to be fair, and I like that they're addressing this, it's kind of like, he knows things he shouldn't, and the show kind of addresses this on occasion, and it's definitely going to be a problem to deal with, I imagine, because you keep coming back with knowledge you didn't have before, so people around you are going to be like, how the fuck do you know this?
I in this scenario as well, like, when Elsa attacks them, and he's like, "Hey, spirit that lives in Satella's backpack," which I can't remember the spirit's name. Puck. And Puck's like, "Hey, I was wondering when you'd call me." I'm like, "Wait a sec, Puck, do you know things? Why aren't you surprised you were called at all?"
He was like, "Oh, that was a close one. Thanks, kid." He's just like, it's all right. I knew it wasn't 5 o'clock yet."
Yeah, like he has a lot of knowledge.
But no, yeah. I mean, to be fair, that's only slightly skipping ahead, so I'll quickly fill in the in-between. He tries to get them to pay him, but Felt's like, no. Even though, to be fair, even Rom's like, I mean, he's being honest, and he doesn't seem like a bad guy. Why don't you just pay him? And Felt's like, no, I need to see what the other person's offer is. Because again, he's like, the other person can't offer you more, just give me this. And Felt is rightly suspicious. And then there's a knock at the door. Subaru's rightly shits himself, thinking, shit, it's Elsa. And then thankfully, my foreknowledge came in because I was watching this. I was like, shit. And I was like, wait a minute. I think this is Amelia. And then it's Amelia. And I'm like, thank God.
I assumed it was Amelia. I was like, it can't be that lady this time. What I do like about Amelia turning up, he's like, "Oh, she's here already?" And he's like, "Well, that's how much I slowed her down then." Yes, apparently you were a slowing influence, good sir.
That, or... I legitimately don't know if this is foreknowledge coming in or not, because I don't remember this being a thing, but I assumed because he told Reinhardt to leave a message for her not to go to the slums, I assume that's why she went to the slums.
It could be that, yeah.
That's, again, I don't know if this is foreknowledge or if I'm just doing some reasonable thinking here, but I assume that's why she turned up so quickly. But I did also like that moment where he was just like, "Oh shit, I slowed her down a lot." It's like, it's alright, Subaru, don't feel too bad. You tried.
You tried your hardest in a bad situation. Well, in an interesting situation at any rate.
But no, yeah, and then Subaru sees that, this is a part of the okay, not the fate thing, but the people always behaving the same way thing, because he sees that she helped the lost girl again, because he sees the brooch that the girl gave her from before. So he laughs, and Felt's like, "What the fuck, why are you laughing?" Because keeping in mind that Emilia's come in at this point, threatening them with ice magic. It's like, wait, you aren't working together? What? And then, yeah, Elsa appears, tries to assassinate Emilia, and as Chris pointed out, Subaru calls out to Puck and is like, "Oi, shield!" And Puck's like, "Thanks for that. That was close." And then we get the rest of this episode is a fight scene, basically, because the last episode cuts off with Amelia's appearance, at least in the old version, and then this episode, the second half, picks up with, and it's pretty much a fight the whole episode, and it's kind of entertaining.
Yeah,
at least I found it.
Cool time.
But no,
I like the fluidity of the action. It
no.
was fast paced, but I could still follow what was going on.
Right, it was fast-paced magic versus a character who just seems to be nimble as fuck and is able to like climb around the walls like a spider and shit. It's kind of creepy, but at the same time, like, this is a world of magic and the rules haven't quite been established yet, so I can accept that she does that.
Subaru also great reflexes. Like at one point, he like kicks a table and like the table like knife. Stops a knife going into fell. And like me and him were like, "Holy shit, that worked!"
Yeah, to be fair, I like the fact he has that reaction as well because he is just a normal kid. So when he does it, he's like, "Oh shit, that worked! Ow, my foot!" I
understand. Like it's fun, it's funny, and it makes for nice action scenes. I don't know how he learned this being a recluse in Japan. All of this like ninja-like reflexes.
Also, another point as well is. Is he aware of the fourth wall? Because at one point he's like distracting Elsa, and and then he puts his hand together and goes, "And stay tuned, folks. Distraction's over. Puck, do it." And I'm like, wait, did he just break the fourth wall, or was he talking to the other people in the room? I'm not sure.
It was, as Puck said, it was delightfully awkward.
I hope to live to see your magnificent awkwardness, or something like that. That's what he says. But no, yeah, we get Amelia and Puck constantly using ice magic on this last Elsa, who's just evading all of them. Meanwhile, Rom, Felt, and Subaru are kind of just watching in the background. And then at some point, because of his time limit / using up of mana, they say in the episode, Puck gets really tired and has to vanish into the crystal. And then Amelia alone fights against Elsa and gets knocked out. And then Rom decides to join in. I was fine with them hiding before.
I feel like if Rom and Subaru had decided to unleash their particular brand of assault, a 3-on-1 that lady might not have been able to get out. Well, to be honest, in a minute she runs at the speed of sound, so like maybe she would have got away, but still.
Maybe, yeah. I agree though that they probably should have helped earlier because you can see Subaru was thinking about it, but naturally he's still kind of a bit of a coward due to not having any special powers or anything apart from coming back from the dead. But then, as he's about to go, Rom's like, "We should help her," and I'm like, "You could have done that before she was knocked out." But heyo, Amelia gets knocked out. Rom comes in to help, and to be fair, doesn't get killed this time. He manages to hold her off, but not for long. Again, because she's just a lot more agile than him. And as Felt also tries to help whilst Rom's fighting her, but inadvertently gets him knocked out. And then
doesn't Subaru do something to like save Rom? Like he was about to get stabbed in the neck or something, and Subaru.
No, this is Felt. Subaru saves Felt in a second. Basically, Rom engages Elsa, and then Elsa does her agile thing and like lands on top of Rom's stupidly large club. But keeping in mind, Rom is a big dude, so. But then Felt like throws a throwing knife, and it seems to, I guess Elsa. I can't quite remember because the action's very fast. So if you blink, you kind of miss some of things. But I think Elsa like knocks the throwing knife into the back of Rom's shoulder and knocks him out.
You see, the way I read it, I thought she was going for the killing blow, and then whoever threw the throwing knife like blocked it just enough to like knock it off course from like chopping his head off. That's what I thought happened, but I to be honest, I'm not sure.
I'll go with that explanation. It makes sense, but no, it's Felt that threw that knife, and Rom gets knocked out, and Felt gets upset, thinking that he's dead because, as far as we're aware at this point in time, he's dead because he got slashed. And then Elsa goes to kill Felt. Subaru saves Felt's life, and then Amelia wakes back up and continues to fight. Meanwhile, Subaru's like, "Okay, so you're younger than me, you're 15, you said, so you fuck off, because I'm nearly 18. So I like how he's just like, I'll prioritize your life, because you're the youngest one here.
In my head, I'll be like, we're basically the same age, we're both leaving. Let's go.
But no, yes, that happens. He then grabs Rom's club and helps Amelia in the fight.
Not the weapon I would have chose to help, because that club's the size of Subaru.
Yeah,
pick up a sword or something.
I was surprised he could wield it. I was just like, why didn't you just go for one of the swords behind you? But to be fair, a big thick club, it is excellent for defense, I'll give him that. As long as he can wield it, which he was able to. So, we'll go with it for now. A bit convenient, because we've seen that he's strong and athletic, but that strong? Fucking hell.
And he wields it with, a lot of dexterity.
Not as much as Rom. He doesn't, go wielding it about like a madman, smashing everything, but it's still a surprising amount of dexterity, because that club is basically the size of Subaru. And if you've ever tried to carry something the size of yourself, trust me, you know it's difficult.
It ain't a fun experience, let alone swinging that around to defend yourself from a crazy, disemboweling lady.
Felt escapes after Subaru, like Chris mentioned before, does the table trick, because I'll give him a bit of leeway here. It's like he knows she has a second weapon, so he was probably expecting her to try and kill Felt on her way out. But still, the table thing is both impressive, and to be fair, the character is also surprised he was able to do it. Blocks the knife at the table, and then the fight continues, and we cut to this later. No, go on.
The table trick, in my mind, would work a little better if this was his 50th attempt or something. He kept trying to save them, and then after so much practice he could kick it. I like the joke of him oh shit, I can do that. I'm awesome sort of thing, but I'm in my mind it would work better if this was we had a montage of him dying, basically being how do I save them? And eventually he's just I know everything that happens.
It's I know every single possibility. I have Doctor Strange this.
Yes, I know you're going to throw that knife, so I can kick the table just in time to get that sort of thing. I mean, either way works. One's more comedic, one's more, I guess, not comedic. But
one's comedic, one's a bit more, I'd say, tragic slash practical slash more realistic. But they both kind of work. It's not over the top uber powerful that we're well, that doesn't make sense, you could do that, but it's just the right amount of okay, we'll let you off for that, just
it fits the light-hearted nature of the show. I'm nitpicking for nitpicking's sake, but really it doesn't affect the show in any meaningful way. That isn't the way it is,
And we cut to this later, but I'll say it now just in order because it's still kind of in chronological order. Basically, when Felt runs away, she goes running around the slums asking for help, and everyone's like, fuck that, which, to be fair, kind of understandable. You're living in the slums, you're not all fighters. And then Reinhardt, she encounters from before, and he's like, I'll help you. Kind of convenient he's there, but at the same time I'm thinking maybe he followed Emilia, because he seems to know her anyway, so...
The thinking I had was when Subaru was hey, don't go, give this message, don't go to the slums. Subaru was I could use your help with, never mind. No, I'll do it myself. And if he's this virtuous knight, maybe he was maybe that guy really does need my help. Maybe I'll go to the loot house in the slums.
Yeah, maybe, because they do establish as well that, oh yeah, that's the thing as well. This is why I brought up the fourth wall thing. He kind of assesses people as characters, and he's this guy's nice guy characteristics are off the chart, and they establish him as that kind of virtuous knight. It's kind of funny. That is exactly what he is. So yeah, that explanation also works out, and also with the fourth wall thing as well. Well, I guess this is more him being a nerd / aware of tropes and stuff. When the fight initially begins, and they do that uber powerful attack that he stalled for, and then Rom's did we get it? And he's don't trigger that flag. He's definitely still treating it assuming he's not breaking the fourth wall, he's treating it like a sort of isekai / gaming scenario, and it's kind of funny on occasion when he brings it up, because he doesn't do it too often that it's annoying. So that happens. She encounters Reinhardt whilst they're fighting, and then Subaru / Emilia work together in the fight. Not for very long though, because Elsa does eventually counter Subaru, but just as that happens and Subaru thinks he's dead, Reinhardt literally comes crashing through the fucking ceiling in an explosive entrance and begins to fight her one-on-one whilst Emilia heals Rom, because it's revealed that he's not dead, just knocked out. And
Elsa unleashes power untold. Before it was they're keeping up with her, but then when Reinhardt turns up, she's moving at the speed of sound, bouncing off things like goddamn Gran Torino. I'm Jesus Christ, why is she so fast all of a sudden?
To be fair, with the way she kills people, especially with it in the past life, I assume from her reputation as well that she just likes to toy with her victims. She was probably before thinking I could take these people on, it's fine, I'll just toy with them for a bit and draw out their suffering. Whereas with Reinhardt, it was shit, this guy's tough, time to go all out. But no, yeah, she fucking goes crazy. So that fight ensues, and we kind of get a brief explanation as to magic. I again, my memory's foggy, so I don't know how magic actually works in this world, but Amelia's like, okay, I'm going to heal this guy, but he can't go full power, because if he uses any of his magic, it'll draw the magic away from me, because mana seems to be a thing that's, like, physically manifest in their world.
It's like I assume it's kind of like air. It's just like a round, you can draw in it, but if someone else uses a lot of it, it's going to suck yours away while you're using it.
So, yeah, she's like, okay, I'm going to heal this guy. Once I'm finished, give him the signal to do his thing. So they do that, it happens, and he fucking blows away half the building in one swipe with the sword he randomly picked up. And it's impressively animated. I really like the way that moment looks.
The whole Reinhard stuff is... I like the way he fought before, like he did his, like, Super Saiyan move, where she came up to me and, like, kicked the floorboard up, and was like, well... I can't use my sword because it's deemed this situation not dangerous enough, so I've got to use this other shit. I thought, this is a cool fight. I like it.
Yeah, it was a cool engagement, especially with such a powerful character. But yeah, no. So that happens. They seemingly defeat Elsa, and they have a brief chat. But then Elsa appears out of the rubble because she wasn't actually dead. We assumed she'd been incinerated, like from that mega blast, but she must have just got out the way and was kind of. I don't know if she was crushed by the rubble or intentionally hid in the rubble, but she bursts out and goes for Emilia again, and Subaru picks up Rom's club again and is like, nope, I know you're going to go for the gut. So, again, using his foreknowledge, and blocks the blow, whilst knocking Emilia out the way. And then Elsa fucks off, does give Reinhardt a chance to go after her again. And then Subaru has kind of like this I'm just going to call it his cringy comedy moment, because why is he like doing those random poses and stuff while he's asking for her name? It's like, oh, please stop. Please stop.
I found it all very charming.
Oh, it's very charming, but at the same time, it's that kind of cringy humor. I'm just like, please stop. No.
Hey, yeah. It's working on this lady.
No, yeah, so he asks for her name in return for helping her, and she's like, she gives him a gorgeous smile and tells him her name is Emilia. Which is a nice little payoff after these episodes of build-up, especially not actually knowing her name. If I was Subaru though, I would go about asking, like, I wouldn't say that you gave me a false name before, but afterwards I'd be like, okay, so can someone tell me this satellite? Because I'm not from here, and people are treating it like I've just summoned the devil or something. What is that? I would want an explanation.
I'm sure when he wakes up, he's going to have a lot of questions.
Just a few, because as Chris pointed out, he's at the end of the episode he's unconscious because it's revealed when Reinhardt picks up Rom's club again that the final strike that Elsa did actually went through the club, and they're like, what? And then they actually see his gut has been partially slashed and he falls unconscious.
I assumed he was going to die again, and I was very upset. I was like, no, I'll have to do this all again.
Oh no, thankfully they healed him. I also had that thought, to be fair, because I can't remember how many times he dies in all of these situations, so I was just like, oh no, please, not again. I don't want to go through this again. But no, they heal him, Emilia heals him, and the episode wraps up with Reinhardt taking Felt away, because initially Emilia was letting her off for stealing the pendant, and she gave it back, but when Reinhardt saw the pendant that she stole, he was like, okay, I'm going to take you in, but they don't mention why, and I'm curious why. I can't remember.
Well, was it him taking her into the law or taking her to his house? I assumed it had, because he was asking, like, how old are you? And I was like, does this got something to do with, like, his family line or something?
Yeah, like, I don't know.
Like, before that, he was like, oh, I'm off duty, so I'm not going to arrest her, sort of thing. And as soon as he, like, saw the thing, he was like, oh, I'm going to take her, and asked her how old she was and all that sort of stuff. And I was like, that's a bit odd.
Like, I don't...
Because it wasn't even her emblem. It wasn't even her emblem
that
she was handing over.
Like, if it had been hers, then maybe I would go along with the family line thing. Especially with him asking, like, her age and stuff, because, like, maybe lost member of the family or something, I don't know. But considering it's something she stole, the only thing I can think of is, like, maybe he suppressed that she was able to steal it, but no, it still doesn't make sense. I don't know why he took her, and I can't remember, so I'm curious to see where that goes.
I'm sure it'll all get explained.
And that is the end of this episode of ReZero. So, overall thoughts, Krishna, did we enjoy this episode?
I like the show. It's a fun show. I kind of wish they'd played with him dying more. Like I said earlier, like maybe having like a montage of him just like trying and dying. But other than that, it's a fun, entertaining show full of likable characters.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I feel like I'd be slightly heartbroken if you didn't like the show, because this is like one of my favorite shows ever, which is why I suggested it, considering season 2 is about to come out. We definitely won't catch up in time for when season 2 starts, because obviously we started halfway through the season. We're only watching one episode of this a week, but hopefully.
When does season 2 begin?
It starts in, I believe, April, because it starts in the what comes after winter? The spring season of anime. So
I see. I mean, when it gets closer to that time, we could just like devote one episode of this show to just like plow through the rest of these before the new season comes out or something.
Maybe, but I'm fine with being behind. I'm good at avoiding spoilers anyway, so it's not like I don't think I've ever spoiled a show for myself with regards to spoilers. Video games have been spoiled for me all the time if I don't play them straight away, but shows I'm generally good at avoiding, so I'm willing to wait. Plus, we have a mega episode of My Hero that we're planning on doing, so
true.
Best not do 2 of those for now. But the thought is appreciated. No, we'll watch it as it comes out after we finish this, because I don't want to rush it. But no, yeah, glad you're enjoying the show. I, as well, also really enjoying the show. I haven't found moments to be annoying or anything yet. Cringy, yes, but no, I've enjoyed every moment so far. The characters are great, the motivations reasonably make sense, and Subaru is a reasonably intelligent and nice guy. So it's a pleasant experience to follow him along on his journey.
I like his weird awkwardness, where like just going around announcing he's broke and all that sort of stuff. He's got a nice magnetism to him.
But okay then. So any more comments before we wrap this up? Because we have finished at about the same time as last week. So I think this is going to be the consistent episode, like for the anime talk show. We might shorten it once we get through this batch of anime, because 2 hours and a quarter is still quite extensive.
Well, it might also shorten down when we actually catch up with some of these, where they drop from 2 episodes to 1 episode or something like that.
Very true, very true. It's only when we're watching shows from the past that they get a bit more lengthy. Alright, no, fair enough. But yeah, any more comments on that show or any of these shows we've watched before we wrap this up?
No, not really. I said my piece. I'm enjoying our set of shows. Some far more than others, but I'm enjoying our set of shows.
We've got the good to balance out the meh. So I assume the same rankings as last week?
Yes, basically.
And my rankings are the same as last week. Just to clarify.
Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, just to clarify, state your ranking from best to worst.
Toilet Bound, followed by ReZero. For some reason, ReZero as a name just does not stick in my mind.
It's a weird name.
ReZero in number 2, then Darwin's Game, and then No Gun's Life. I'm still constantly surprised how much I like Toilet Bound Hanako-Kun, to be honest.
I kind of am, but at the same time, I feel like this is after watching like the first 2 episodes, this is definitely the kind of show I would like, because I've watched a few anime kind of like this, not the same setting, but the kind of just it's a feel good show, because there are a lot of those about. And as the years went on, even though we weren't doing arts, I was still watching anime, so I found a few of them. Because there are a fair few of them. Sometimes you just need a nice chill show that's just relaxing to watch, because that's what that is. It's
chill, but I wouldn't say like not involved. There's I'm involved in the story, and I'm trying to anticipate what's going on, but it's got a nice vibe to it.
Yeah, no, I would completely agree. And for my rankings, it's once again ReZero, because I adore the show, Toilet Bound, and then I'm going to tie the other 2, because I don't know how to feel about them yet. The shows need to go on more to either win me over or lose me. Or be consistently meh. We don't know yet. We shall find out.
They could continue like this forever.
Well, hopefully not forever. Black Clover's still going somehow, and I don't know how.
I don't know how it got out of its first 10 episodes. That show was painful to the ears.
And so many more levels.
I'm happy for those who like it, and if it's good now, good for you, but I certainly will never get to watch that show.
Yeah, well, Chris and I very much live by the policy of we despise the it gets good defense, because it's just like, well, screw you, it should get good within the first few episodes or we ain't watching it.
You front load the goodness if you want me to keep watching, otherwise I'm going to drop off real quick.
It's like if Game of Thrones started at like the season 8 quality and then got back to season 1 quality after like 3 seasons, and people went, oh, it's good now, you should watch it. It's like, no, I'm not doing that. The first seasons were awful.
Yeah, I don't. That sort of thing doesn't wash with me too much. But I'm happy for those who do enjoy it.
Yeah, fair enough if you caught on later. But no, we're never going back to that show. But anyway, yes, okay, so that's our thoughts on these shows for this week. Hope you certainly all enjoyed listening to us ramble on for 2.25 hours, and I hope you enjoyed the shows as well. Obviously, leave a comment down below with your thoughts on these shows if you've seen them before, or at least tell us if you're going to go check them out. Also, feel free to give us suggestions for future things to watch, because when we wrapped up the last season, we were also going to consider watching anime movies as well, so feel free to put anime and anime films down in the comments with suggestions. Otherwise, hope you enjoyed, hope you finished your chores or your drive or whatever you've been doing while you've been listening to us, and if you've just been listening to us this whole time and doing nothing else, you're a madman, but thank you all the same.
You're truly insane.
You are truly insane, but I respect your commitment. And yes, we should be back next week with the same shows and the same number of episodes until we catch up with certain shows which are currently airing still. And that is all, my friends. So have a good day, night, wherever you are in the world, and we shall see you next week at Friday at 6 o'clock. Mata raishu, minasan.
The words I meant to say have eluded me, so goodbye, friends.
It's what you would have said in Japanese. And cut.